Hyper Strike, and he's part of the all-new season of Who Wants to Be a Superhero. Premieres next Thursday at 9. The phenomenon that swept the nation last summer returns to sci-fi.
I want to be a superhero!
With more danger, more emotion.
Come on, baby! Get this!
More reasons to lay it on the line for a chance at immortality.
I'm ready to go out and take them down.
It's an all-new season of Who Wants to Be a Superhero? A Sci-Fi Channel original series premieres this Thursday at 9.
We are 10 everyday people
with courage,
passion,
And tights. And we have the chance to become extraordinary.
To show the world what we're made of.
to save the day.
one contest, one winner.
Who want
To
Be
A superhero.
The phenomenon that punched through televisions last year
Drop it like a hot potato.
is back.
I'm ready to go fight some crime.
It's an all-new season of Who Wants to Be a Superhero? A Sci-Fi Channel original series premieres next Thursday at 9 on Sci-Fi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dan, aka Parthenon, and I will be your host for this evening. And this evening, we're going to be watching episodes 5 and 6 of Who Wants to Be a Superhero Season 2. So, episodes 5 and 6. Now, joining me this week, you might recognize Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hello, everyone.
I know, I kind of like it. Hi, Gina. It's fun.
Hi.
Fun to say. It's like, hi. I like it.
Hi.
Also joining us this week is Braid. Hi, Braid.
Hi, how are you?
Fabulous as always. You're looking delightful. You're like, yes, this is true. I know. It has been a crazy. See, everybody's phone's already going off. It's like, ting, ting,
I
ting,
know.
ting, ting.
That's you guys.
I believe it. It's like, hey, things are going on. It's good.
Turn
I
that
know.
volume down. Okay, there we go.
That's fun. I like what this
Okay.
person already said. Lynn says, yay, more superhero goodness. It's like, yeah. So remember, yeah, as we go along, if you guys have questions or anything like that, feel free to type them in the chats, and we will definitely make sure that we answer them. And just like the last couple of weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to show the first half of the episode number 5, take a little break, answer some questions, catch up with people, then we'll watch the second half, and then we'll have a Where Are They Now, catch up and stuff like that, and then we'll go on to the second episode as well. So it'll be
All
more
right.
fun. Ooh, hey, Braid. Look, you got fans. Braid for life.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, thank you. Jessica.
right? Fun.
Hi,
And-
Jessica.
I know. Plus, this person said, thanks for doing it. It's wonderful to finally get to know you, too.
Well, thank
Great.
you. I'm glad to get to know you guys. I mean, when you're the first to go, but it's either the first or the last, or the ones you really remember.
It's true.
That's right.
You're always one of my favorites anyway, no matter what numbers.
I love
God.
you, darling. I love you, Dan. Talking on.
Call me whatever you want. It's fine.
Just
I
don't be
like-
late for dinner.
Oh, never. I know. Especially when I'm dating a chef.
Oh,
that way.
yes.
I know. He's a gourmet
Yes.
chef. It's rough. This quarantine has been painful. Mostly for my waist. But other than that, it's been fine.
Yes, I
Yes.
mean, we need to get out because we are cooking over here like crazy too. So we need to
Are
get
you?
out of the house.
I feel
Yeah.
you. Yeah. We've kind of been doing like once a week. We've been getting takeout during the quarantine and stuff like that. So that'd be.
Yeah, we're trying to
Yeah.
support our whatever restaurants we think might go under like
Oh.
once a week. But it's kind of like Mark and I last week. We were like, we got to get back on some kind of a diet.
Yeah. I'm on the same page because I'm like, and yes,
because by the time it ends, it's like you guys step out fabulously, right? Yeah.
I just need to make sure my shirt still fits, so it's okay.
Right.
As long as I can fit in those.
That's why we wear spandex as superheroes. It can.
That's right.
It is true. I know. Did you guys actually lose any weight while you were on the show? By the way.
Yeah.
I lost 12
I know you
pounds.
did. I know you
Wow.
did. Yeah.
Right?
I was like,
12 pounds.
I know. I just think it was from being nervous and not eating. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
everything's out. Yes. It's not it's not a comfort zone thing.
no.
Not a comfort zone thing.
Not at
No.
all. But yeah,
Not at
totally. 12 pounds. It was good.
Wow.
I know.
Get on the superhero diet, people.
That's what I'm saying. That makes
Should
me
write a
fat.
book. Yeah.
I like that. I could do that. I think it'd be entertaining. Well, I think we should go ahead and get started. This week, episode 5. Do you remember this episode, Hygiena? Do you remember this one? What episode 5 is? This is the crazy snake episode.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
I have stories.
Oh, I
about
have so much about this. Like, yeah. Just be happy you weren't there for this one, Braid, because this one was painful.
Yes.
Painful.
well, I just took my dog out. Matter of fact, I just saw a little teeny baby snake. But if there's a baby snake, it's dead. But I was like, ooh, there was probably a mama snake somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't do snakes well around here, but anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. We have lots of stories for this one because I was like, and but it'd be fine. Yes. See, okay. People are already getting it. Actually, wait. I had something else pulled up, but I want to pull this. Wow, wait. I took off you. This person says the pipe.
The pipe.
Dylan
And
is already corrected.
Yes.
We will explain this later.
Yes, it's real. It's all real.
Yeah, this one is totally all real. There is no CGBs added later or anything like that. This one's just, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to watch it?
Yes.
You want to see a snake before you go?
I know. It's like,
I don't know if you can see this. Well, you probably can't because it's on a phone. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You can't see it. But anyway, it's in our community. When you cross these wooden bridges,
okay.
that whole thing is a snake.
Oh, God, no.
That entire thing is a snake. So I'm sorry. I'm not walking my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog would just tear that to shreds, though. She was all good. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be episode number 5, part number 1, and enjoy, everybody.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Previously on Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
Oh my God!
The remaining 6 superheroes continue to compete for immortality.
Road ahead doesn't get any easier.
First,
We got serious trouble, guys.
they got a late-night shock from Dr. Doc.
Oh, the pencil.
The diffuser took charge,
Don't touch it.
and Whip Snap was pushed to the breaking point.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
Then,
I need a jacket, shoes, and pants.
the heroes went undercover to retrieve their stolen stuff.
Gross.
Hygiena took too long,
It's really important to make things tidy.
and a mother searching for her lost child
Have you seen my child?
tested the heroes' commitment to help those in need.
And I turned around and she was gone. Emily!
Emily, anyone see a little girl named Emily?
But Basura
Can you help me?
didn't know what to do.
Wow, this is really difficult.
Then, on the roof,
I was shaking like a leaf up there.
Stan called forward Basura,
Heroes must never hesitate.
the diffuser,
Your style of leadership bordered on the side of bossy.
and Hygiena.
Your obsession for neatness caused you to fall behind.
Leaving the lair tonight is Asura.
Now, 5 remain. Who will become Stan Lee's next superhero?
stop for a second and look around.
I know. I don't even want to.
We're already down to half of our team.
Yep.
When I look around, there's all these empty beds. I realize that every elimination, there's somebody going home. That's it. You just pack up your stuff and you're gone.
Yeah.
And that's true too. We're only halfway through.
Our chances of winning have doubled now. From when we started, we had a 1 in 10 chance. Now we have a 1 in 5.
We got each other at least, you know?
Yeah.
Whoa! That's something.
We have some breaking news now. It's a dark day in our fair city. Electricity is being diverted from the local power plant, and rolling blackouts are happening all over town. Authorities believe that arch-villain Dr. Dark is the prime suspect.
Big surprise.
More on this as the story develops.
Looks like we need to go after Dr. Dark again.
No doubt.
All right, superheroes. It looks like Dr. Dark has made his next move,
Yes.
and you've got to stop him. We can't let the city go dark.
No.
Nope.
I've traced the power diversion to a remote power station. Good luck. I'll be watching all of you in action.
We will, Stan.
Yes,
You got it,
sir.
Mr. Lake. To the super vehicles?
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's great if we could finally catch Dr. Dark, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Having an evil dude running around like that's bad for the whole city. Whole world.
Hello, Super Zeros. We meet again. Dr. Dark at your service. If you want to save the city from permanent blackout, you'll need to disable my power diverter. All you need to do is remove the 5 fuses in the reactor chamber, one at a time. You have only 6 minutes to shut down the diverter. One more thing, though. I had my people make copies of those dossiers I borrowed from your lair. I know everything about you, including your weaknesses. Anyone want to bet that you'll have to face your fears in that conductor tube?
Whipsnap's a very emotional person. The pressure does seem to be getting to her.
Dr. Doc, out.
Okay.
All right, everyone.
Check our gym.
Hey, we're making through the pipe.
5 fuses.
5 fuses.
And get out safe.
Safe.
Y'all can do this.
Yep.
We all can do this.
Excelsior!
Let's do this. I'm ready.
Don't look at anything but the fuse box, okay? You can do this.
I was very nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I just know that I had to have my game face on.
Look at your goal.
Ready?
Oh, girl.
Do it up. Do it up.
I saw things moving. There were rats. I heard it go. I actually had to turn that fear into anger because I was mad. You know, I had to do this.
Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Ouch!
Come on, Whip. Get that fuse.
How you doing, Whipsnap? How you doing?
You're doing good.
Come on, Whip. Come on. Move it. Good.
All right. Great. You all right?
I know. You did it. You did it. You did it.
It was tough. It was tough.
Okay,
All right.
who's going next?
I'm gonna go
All right,
next.
you go. I got your stuff.
I actually have, I don't even know what you call snakeophobia.
Here we go.
Parthenon. He's just not the insect type of guy, none of that snakes. And it was a huge challenge for him as well.
Normally I'm fine with the dark.
No.
But when you add snakes and things that are moving around, it made it extremely scary.
Good job.
I reached out and I grabbed a snake. Oh my god!
Okay, I don't tell everyone nothing I want to see. You're good.
You're good.
Oh my god.
Nice. Good job. Good job.
There are humongous snakes in there.
Why you gotta tell us?
Awesome.
There I go.
Good luck.
You got it.
Hey, you got it. We're here for you.
It was a very tight squeeze in there. It's very claustrophobic.
When I saw that snake, I just froze.
How you doing, hi Gina? Doing okay?
I'm okay.
Good.
Oh.
You doing okay?
I'm okay. It's killing me because I know I'm taking longer than anyone else. I'm just really trying to concentrate on not freaking out. You know, starting to feel my heart rate rise.
You're looking good.
But I got out of it.
Take that, Dr. Dork!
Get the web off of me, please.
Yes.
Hygiena and Whipsnap, they were freaking out before, and they were so scared. They were like shaking in their boots.
It's good. Hey,
You're
hey.
good.
Yeah.
You're good. No more whips. No more whips. Hi, Gina, that was amazing.
That was awesome.
Nice.
That was amazing. You did good. You did good. I'm very proud of you.
Look up!
It's getting worse. The city's losing power.
You gotta hurry.
Come on, Hype. You next.
Come on, guys. We're running out of time.
Stay low and focus.
Oh, man. There's gonna be some creepy spiders in there.
There I
Come on! Keep going!
I knew it was gonna be bad, and I was right.
Are you okay?
Here it is. I got it. It was gross in there. I didn't look around. I just made a straight line for the fuse. Just wanted to get the hell out. Seeing lots of creepy stuff. It was a big spider. All right, gotta go.
Here we go, Hyperstrike.
Spiders everywhere. Ah, jeez.
Good. All right, good job.
Good job.
I'm worried for myself that I took too long because I was looking for the fuse. Come on, guys, we're losing time.
Did I mention I'm claustrophobic?
Yeah.
I don't tell many people that. I was honestly afraid I might get stuck in the tunnel.
You'll be fine.
That tunnel looked awfully small to me.
You got it. Diffuser!
This is tight. Man. Think I can move. Crap. I'm stuck.
Did I mention I'm claustrophobic?
Yeah.
I don't tell many people that. I was honestly afraid I might get stuck in the tunnel.
You'll be fine.
That tunnel looked awfully small to me.
You got it. Diffuser!
Stay low.
This is tight. I mean, I couldn't even get on my knees to crawl like some of the other heroes were able to do.
Come on, diffuser!
I think I can move. Crap. I'm stuck. Oh! Okay, there we go. I think I'm getting through here.
Diffuser, I don't even know how he fit because I barely did.
Yeah, it was creepy. Something was crawling across the back of my neck. We can't find it. Can't find it. Where is it?
Come on, diffuser, you can do it!
Come on! Where's that? Where's that? Okay. Coming back, you guys. Coming back.
We see you! Come on! Got it. Hey! Fuses, unite!
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm proud of the way you faced down your fears. And because of your bravery, I've arranged something special for you. A night out. Enjoy yourselves.
Sounds good.
Okay.
But remember, always act like superheroes when you're in the public eye.
I'm so hungry.
All right.
It was really great to get out of the lair for a little bit. So chips and salsa for everyone, guacamole, fried ice cream.
Yeah.
It's just good to be out.
Yeah.
How y'all doing? Come on over.
People were really intrigued with our outfits, and we actually had some fans.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Parthenon.
I'm Hygiena.
It was really neat to have the kids come over to us. And suddenly I felt this great responsibility to really act like a superhero.
Did you all wash your hands before you eat?
Kids were just totally astounded by our presence, and I felt like I was a role model. And they were intrigued by our gadgets and our superpowers.
What powers do I have? Actually, I have a couple.
There was so much admiration, and that melted my heart.
I have a lot of gadgets. If the bad guy's chasing you, you throw it behind you, and it'll stop the bad guys.
Now, here you go. You hang on to it because it's from the diffuser.
But don't use it on your dog or your sister.
What I actually gave them is one of my gadgets I invented.
Bye-bye. All right.
Can I collect the money, please?
Money?
I'm in spandex.
I got a wallet in there, man? Well, if we don't have the money, what other options do we have?
All right, can I get any dishes from you folks?
You got anything you need cleaned up? Yeah. Oh. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Superheroes, please meet me in the game room.
Yes, sir. We'll be right there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, superheroes. Please take a seat. We now know that diverting power was part of Dr. Dark's bigger plan. Likely a more evil plan.
Did somebody say evil?
Oh, Dr. Dark.
I'm here to show Stan that you super zeros aren't the perfect little do-gooders you might want him to think you are.
I find that hard to believe.
Doubtful.
Thanks to those dossiers I borrowed, I got some interesting information on each of you.
Uh-oh.
Dark, I want to hear these secrets.
Thought you might, Stanley. Let me show you what I've discovered. Let's go to some videotape.
I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm not either.
Let's see it.
Well, none of us are perfect, Mr. Lee. We all have our faults.
Sure.
The first Super Zero I've got the goods on is Whip Snap. This bring up memories?
Dun dun dun! Secrets revealed time. Bum bum bum. All right, so let's go ahead and discuss. Let me get my heroes back on here. Hi.
Hi. Ooh,
Welcome back.
secrets. Ooh.
Secrets. Hi, Ella. Yeah, so this one was always a fun one, is the secrets revealed part. But let's go back for a minute. Let's talk about the Snake Tunnel of Doom. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know. I was back and I was reading my notes for this because I kept like a little ongoing journal of what the heck we were doing. I forgot that you actually went first, Hygiena.
Yes. Okay. So, we all know that this is a show, and they have kind of a story that they're producing. But this really happened, and we really went out there, and we really didn't know what we were going to do, and we really went through this tunnel. And they said for me to go first, and so I did, and I was so freaked out that I went really fast. Like I don't even remember most of it. It is
I don't blame you.
Out. Yeah, it blocked. Seriously, I just blocked it out, and I went really fast. It came out really, 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 really fast. And it doesn't come out that way on the show. But in what really happened in our experience was that was what happened, and not that it wasn't timed or anything. It just, I was like, I'm not staying in that thing.
They added the time later and stuff like that, of course. But we did have a couple of questions about it. Dylan wanted to know, did they mess up our costumes, and did we have a washer and dryer in the lair?
No, we didn't have a washer and dryer because I would have found it.
There actually was one. It was downstairs. Yeah,
right.
But we didn't have access to it.
We didn't have it. I think we were kind of washing things off in the sink as we went. This one, actually, no, it didn't. Not really dirty.
Yeah, luckily we took our capes off, and anything that we could take off, we took off, and one of the others would have held. So we kind of like, ugh. But yeah. Fun times. I know, right? Before I wanted to go back, I think it was important, the very first thing in the very first episode part of this part of it is because, did you notice I said, we're down half of our team?
Yeah.
I think that is actually how we thought about it. We didn't actually think about it competing as individuals on a thing. We thought of it as like a super group. So like anytime anyone got voted off, we were like, we're down one member of our team. And I think it's like a different mindset than every other TV show out there. Did you guys agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And we really were like that too. I think it kind of, with everybody that left, it got a little bit more real.
Yeah.
Maybe like we started to go, oh yeah, like, okay, this is not just the big fun group anymore. It's actually people go home, and so you started to kind of dread that, like you dread because you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And it was a different tone for sure.
Definitely. Especially after a couple of people left. We were like, what? Now there's like very few of us. And we're kind of like, But Dylan wants to know, and Braid, we'll put this one to you. Was it awkward bunking in a sleepaway cabin style room? Anything about that?
Ooh, not really, because they had all the beds beside each other, and it was almost like, I don't know if you've been to camp before, Dylan, but some camps that you go to, it's actually a big room and everyone has a bed. So the same sort of thing. Of course, if you got someone that was smelly, or if they snored, or
where is
something like that. But otherwise, it's actually fun. I mean, that's part of the adventure. I enjoyed it. And I liked having our name over our beds. It was really cool, bright colors, and
for our beds, we actually have these super like sequinedy, crazy colored things. And when that one challenge, when our costumes got ruined, my whole plan was to make costumes out of our sheets because I still think it would actually look like superhero outfits.
Yes.
I legit was like, okay, we can turn that pillowcase into a cape, and I'm good. All right. All right. So, Hygiena, your audio is slightly off. So
I know. I know. I'm trying to fix that. My there we go. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now you're good.
I thought it would be weirder. It wasn't. I thought it might be weird because we were all strangers, and I thought, wow, like I'm used to sleeping at home with my husband, and But it kind of surprises you how quickly you adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would totally agree to that. All right, we do have another question. Who had the most trouble with the tube? And a follow-up, how long were each of us in the tube for? Dun, dun, dun. All right, what do you think? Do you have any kind of a...
Well, we all struggled with something in the tube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was I seriously was like in panic anxiety mode when I came out, and I was crying a little bit.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
I
got me
think
all
that
teary-eyed when I was watching that. I was like, oh my god.
You're just like, get these spider webs off me, and I'm like,
Yeah, and that was real, like, because you just go through it, but then afterwards, when you do something kind of, and then you're like, oh, did I just do that? I think Paula, it was hard on her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought Hyperstrike and the diffuser kind of handled it.
They did. They were pretty good. Hyperstrike's like, whatever, let's go. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question because what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Because you said you just don't in real life don't like spiders, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm wondering. So that's why they put the spider in there. For me, if I had still been on there, I can guarantee you there would have been frogs in there. I hate frogs.
Okay.
I think they're putting things in there that you really do not like in real life.
Yeah, that actually goes.
Frogs.
That actually
I
goes
would
into
fine
somebody
with the
else.
spiders, but not the frogs.
Yeah, so Justin wanted to know, did you guys have to wait long for them to set up new fears? So this is kind of a tricky question because it was the same tube for everybody. So nobody got like specific things. Like if you had frogs, we would have all had to deal with frogs, kind of a thing.
Right.
So
I think so.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, but then if we'd have done that and I'd have still been there, then the snakes would have ate the frogs while y'all were, that wouldn't have worked.
Right? Actually, that brings me to a good question somebody else asked below, but I'm going to show this first. Can you imagine Mitzvah doing this? Yes.
No.
Yes, I can. All right. So you do have, okay, wait a minute. Boop. This one, here you go. So question for Braid. After seeing these challenges, what do you think you would have excelled at or been skeptical of?
Ooh, I would have loved last week the roller coaster. I love roller coasters. So I would have been on that thing like, woo, yeah, let's do it again. I would have loved the roller coaster and asking people for their clothes. I think I could have done that one. This one, don't know too much. I would have done it, but I still think they would have had frogs in there. And then it would have been a whole new show. They would have had a new title because I would have torn that tube to pieces. But anyway.
Yeah. So that's what somebody else said is what is everybody's favorite and least favorite animal in the tubes or in the pipes? Can you have a favorite animal in the tubes and pipes? I was like.
I would have taken the spiders. Y'all could have kept that snake. I wouldn't have done the snake.
Yeah.
But the spiders, I would have just tuned them out.
So this is, it's always one of those things for me because I hate bugs. I hate spiders. I am not a snake person. Like my sister used to have one, a snake, and she used to torment me with it because, she's an older sister. It's what you do. But I literally, when I grabbed that pipe and I'd already gone underneath it, I grabbed the little fuse and I was coming back and I grabbed the snake thinking it was the pipe because how this worked, right, is it was pitch black. And then there was a light in the corner, like a red light, and it would go flash and dark. So it was just enough so you could see what was going on-ish. And then it would go out so you didn't have any idea what you were doing after that. So it was kind of like, glimpse of something horrific. Okay, now you're done. And you're like, what? And so that's why I did my little scream when I grabbed it, because I was shocked. It was more of a shock thing than anything else, because I was trying not to scream. But I love this too. Not an insect kind of guy. Yeah, it's one of those. I think whip snap. Yeah, it's gonna come back and haunt me. Wait for it. I know. Somebody else.
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Do you think Hyperstrike's training in the circus prepared him for the challenge? Maybe. I don't know.
Probably agility of getting through there, when you think.
Yeah.
And just so you guys have an update, I did talk to Hyperstrike actually this week, and the reason he has not been like on or anything is he is in isolation mode with his girlfriend up in Vermont, and they have been having a social media like timeout kind of a thing. So that's why he hasn't been catching up for anything. So he does say hi to everybody. So there you go.
That sounds nice. By the way.
I think it sounds good. So the funny thing about the diffuser, and I wish he was on because he was supposed to be on, so maybe he'll be able to answer this later. But him going through the tunnel was hilarious because he was last, right? His shoulders were as wide as the tube.
Yeah.
And,
He had to like on his belly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I was going through, and did you hurt your knees or hands or anything? Because mine, I totally got dinged up all over me. Like, because I kept
I was
hitting
just
weird
in
stuff.
shock. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just in shock of it all.
Yeah, it's nutty. And by the way, somebody else wants to say hello. So feedback says, "Hey,
Hi, Matt. Hey, Matt.
We love you, Matthew.
Hi." He says we have some seriously cool challenges. I often wonder how some of the season 1 heroes would have done on during them as well.
We
I would
talked about
agree with
that. Yeah, we talked about that a lot. I loved, there was something about season 1, and I really thought that these ones, the challenges I thought were going to be just, like kind of the same. And the challenges, they upped the game a little bit. And I think they thought, okay, we're going to do, the reality of what they were getting us into always surprised us because we obviously watched season 1 and everyone was heroic, but it was also sometimes light and fun and funny. And there was some moments where we were stressed out.
The first challenge caught me off guard. I was just kind of like, I was not what I was expecting. And then it's like, by the way, now you're in Fear Factor. And I was like,
I know, right?
That's
I was just like, they threw us in the first challenge, and I'm thinking, oh, there goes my costume. I mean, just the fact of the water and the wind, it was amazing. Like I would do that again. I love just like you were in a hurricane. I love that because I'm like, this is like a movie. Like, this you can't walk.
Yeah,
it's so strong. So that part is good, but it's just like your costume first round. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although I would have loved to see cell phone girl in that tube because that would have made me laugh.
Yeah.
Or monkey girl in her little like fur bikini. I'd be like, oh girl.
Yeah.
Spiders are gonna be all up over that. So I'd be like, no. But Nathan says
season, when they had the dog challenge. Remember they had to fight the dogs with the pads on? That was a cool one.
Okay, I have a story about this, and I don't have it right here, but I will show it to you. I was ready for the dog challenge, okay? Because beforehand, I printed out a whole bunch of weird stuff, and I was like, if they do the dog challenge again, I have to somehow defeat it. So I looked up all of the commands for dogs, and I memorized all of the German words for them and all like the Russian words. And I had them printed out, and I had them in the layer. That's the hilarious thing about it. And I was like, yeah. So I was ready for the dog thing because I was going to be like, stop. And I wanted the dog to be like, okay. And I'd be like, ah.
And then the trainer would have said, no, don't listen to him.
Right? I was wondering if it had to be the specific trainer, if it was the words, because I tried to look up more information about it, and I don't know if it would work. But I was like, yep.
That would have been really cool, though. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. All right. So last thing is, so we get to the restaurant, right, as our reward. And we all walked in and we were super skeptical because we were like, no, this is not going to be a thing. And we're like, okay. So literally one of the people on here said, I can't, I was going to scroll right back to it. And that's the problem with comments. You're like, boop, 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 nah. Somebody said, oh, did you guys get drunk? Right? Or did anyone have drinks? Because I know I didn't. And I thought I told everybody else not to have a drink. Right? And
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah. And my stomach is really like sensitive. So I actually had water. That's why you see in front of me, I had a water. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't speak for anybody else but myself, but I did not have a drink. I don't really drink. So
I don't think anyone did. And I think we ordered food because other people were hungry.
Yes.
And then the hilarious thing about it is that, of course, TV versus reality. It's one of those things. So bear with me for a moment. But when the check came, I had a feeling it was going to be this. Like, I did. And so everybody kind of looked around and I was like, does anybody have money? And they're like, Diffuser had like a $20. And I had my card because I carried a wallet because I had like a little wallet with my driver's license, my credit card, and like $150 in cash like at all times. Yeah. Well, because also when we were at the comic book store in the last episode, I actually paid for everybody's comic books because we all got to have comic books. So I paid for everybody. but I kept paying for things in cash because I thought if I used my credit card, then they would have dinged me for giving my secret identity away, right? So when the check came, I actually got my cash out because it was in my wallet thing, and I paid for it all in cash. And then the waiter came back up and he's like, well, do you guys have your, oh, wait, you guys haven't paid? And I'm like, yeah, you go ahead. And you can tell who can actually add to the story, though, is Diffuser. Hi, Diffuser.
Oh, hello.
Perfect timing, by the way. Cheers indeed. I'll cheers you because ting. We're just talking about the Mexican restaurant. Yes.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm. So we actually paid the check. And then the guy came over and he's like, wait, did you guys pay the check? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, how the hell did you pay for the check? And I'm like, with cash? And they're like, how do you have money? Who has money out of you guys? And I'm like, Diffuser has some and I have the rest. And then they're like, ugh. So they walked away. And then people are saying hi, by the way. So hi, Big D and Diffuser. So they walked away. And then the director came back out and he's like, look, this was what we were trying to do is we were going to have you guys like wash dishes. And I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then Jared is like a big proponent of this. And he's like, you can't ding us on this later.
Right. Right. Because we started to get really paranoid about the dinging.
Yeah. Because we were like, we paid for it. We did it. Nothing was traced to us. We paid it in cash. We were good, blah, blah, blah. And then cut to like a couple days later, I kept bugging the guy because I'm like, hey, if we weren't supposed to pay for that, can I get reimbursed for that? So
yeah.
I go,
that would be really nice.
I eventually did, but it took him like a week later. And I was like, all right.
And we did work it off. We cussed people's tables. Yes. Yeah.
I half-assed it, though. I'm going to be honest, because I was mad. I was just like, what? I was going to be the hero. I paid for it. I did it. But I'm like, forget it. But anyway, so that's kind of the funny thing about that one.
And here's a little tidbit that Casa, the Mexican restaurant, is about 15 minutes from my house.
Really?
So, yeah, that was a little hard because I knew right where we were, and it's
close.
like, oh, Mark is back at at our house, and it was kind of weird because I was in my element, but I was not in my element, and that made me a little homesick.
Oh.
Yeah,
That'd been funny if you like went in there and he was already there by some weird happenstance. You're like,
I was looking around like, do I know anybody? I don't know.
I would have liked it. So the fun thing also this happened this day is it was filmed on a Sunday, right? Because on Sundays they actually didn't film anything and we did photo shoots. So this is where we kind of got to go back to, I'm going to say the name wrong. Hi, Gina, can you say it? Quintonix?
I can't remember. Yeah.
UINOXTUE,
right.
whatever it was.
Studio. Yeah.
Right. It's one of those places. So we got to go in our costumes and we got to take publicity photos. And we actually did the commercials that you guys see at the beginning of these live streams because we've been doing like 3 a week. All of those were filmed at the studio, which was kind of cool. Jared, do you have anything about it?
Is this the one where we did the photo shoot with Stan?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I have one of my absolute favorite stories.
Of
this, of course you know, of this entire incident.
Get it.
So I was one of the ones that just randomly went first during this day of photo shooting. And I got done and they sent me to the green room. So I'm sitting in the green room and it's a typical green room. This one big couch covers half the room and there's buffets of food and a ping pong table and a couple of TVs. And I'm sitting there for not even 2 or 3 minutes. And they've told me, because how many times did we hear this? Don't talk to anyone.
No one.
Mm-hmm. So I went, I'm not. So I'm sitting there and I'm bored and I'm excited. And Stanley walks in.
I'm so jealous.
And he sits down like on the same couch as me, but this whole couch took up the whole wall. And he sits at the opposite end of me. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, that's Stanley. I'm kind of fanboying out.
Well, me and you are like giant comic book people. So like for us, it's like, oh.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is probably a test. They know I'm a fanboy and they're trying to get me to talk to Stan,
Right.
And so I'm just doing this. I can't even eat any of the food or watch the TV because I'm y'all know, I'm just wrapped up in it in my own brain, coming up with all these scenarios. And finally, after about 5 minutes, he puts down this magazine he was reading. He goes, "Okay, diffuser." I'm like, "What did I do?" And he goes, "I cannot sit in a room with someone and not talk to them.
Oh.
But we have to have some ground rules." I went, "Okay."
Go on.
He goes, "We cannot say anything about the show." And I'm like, okay. I'm good with that. And I'm still thinking it's a test, right? He goes, "So, you're really a cop?" And I'm like,
secret identity? What?
and he goes, "Okay, I know you're a cop in Austin." He goes, "But what do you do? This has nothing to do with the show." He goes, "Cross my heart." And I went, okay. So we talked for a few minutes, and his partner, Gil Champion, stepped in and just looked at him. And he goes, okay. So apparently we were getting too personal. And at that point, I kind of thought, are they filming us?
Yeah.
So we talk a little bit more, and he's asking me about what comics I read and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty common knowledge. So I talked about that. And then it got kind of quiet for a minute, and he looked at the ping pong table and goes, "You want to play ping pong?"
I'm so jealous. Like,
And I
I'm
went,
so jealous.
Sure. And so we start playing. And I mean, remember, even at this time, he's like an 83-year-old man.
Right.
And so we're just like gently, just kind of barely hitting the ball back and forth for a few minutes. And we're still chatting as we do it. And Gil Champion walks in again and says, "Hey, Stan, they need you." And he goes, "Okay." And he hits it to me one more time. And then he goes, "Hey, Gil." And I look at Gil, and Stan goes, "Wham!" And hits the hell out of the ping pong ball and like goes off the table, and it goes like way over there. And I'm like, "Hey."
But see, that's how.
He goes, "Now you can say Stan Lee beat you in ping pong." Okay.
But see, that's how funny Stan is. Like, people, I don't think understand, because people have this like picture of who he is.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he's always
sweet, and he's just a he was a lovable person, you know?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a great man, very funny, very personal, and that is one of my favorite
love it.
takeaways from the entire Who Wants to Be a Superhero experience, was being able to play ping pong with Stan Lee.
It's pretty cool. It's right up there with my eating cookies with him. So I was like, yeah.
Right.
And I put in my journal, actually, I'm like, today was the day. Ding. And I put, we got to shake Stanley's hand, and we got to talk to him for a little bit, because it was fun. Because like we actually did photos with him, and like it's kind of cool. By the way, everybody loves your story, diffusers. Everybody's like, yeah. So there you go. All right. Actually, we have a quick question for you, because this person wants to know, in the tubes, we saw the spider on your back. How far did it get? And I almost told them your story about inside the tube and your feet. Do you remember the story that I'm referring to?
You mean the breaking of things?
Yes. And this is why Diffuser had to go last. And go ahead. This is fun.
All right. So you have to understand there's a lot of TV editing involved in this.
We explained it a little bit. So yeah,
So
we're like,
a couple of things. One, I'm crawling in. I never got stuck.
I thought you did get stuck, because I thought it was you got stuck in the middle
my
of it.
belt, my belt thing hung up a little bit.
Yeah.
The tube was joined, but I shook it loose and I moved on. So they
tube
exaggerated it.
Yeah, where the tube joined, I actually broke my gauntlet there too. Because
that's right.
There was a lip,
That's
and it
right.
just kind of hung up.
Yep.
So
Right.
anyway, they did, after we left the show, I don't know if y'all did this as well.
We
but
did.
They called me, and I recorded things for them.
Yeah.
And emailed it to them.
Yeah.
So the "I'm stuck" was recorded, 30 days after the day I got stuck.
When they're editing, yeah.
Just so
ADR.
you know. But I get into this thing, and it looks like industrial metal water pipes and stuff. When you watch it on TV, it's PVC. It's plastic. And while there were critters in there weren't it's kind of like the bees. Yes, there were some in there, but
we
not
talked
as
about this right
crazy.
before, but I'm like, there was a lot of crap in there. Like,
Yes, there was.
Yeah,
There
because
was.
I said it wasn't like CG like the bees, because that's what I said before. Because like everything I saw was in there, and I was kind of like,
yeah, there were snakes and spiders and stuff in there. I just think they kind of augmented,
Spruced it up a
but
little bit. Yeah.
I was
like,
busy breaking
filmed
shit,
it.
so maybe I could be wrong.
There's-
I'm calling in
Go
there.
ahead.
And let's keep in mind, I'm 6'4". At the time, I was in the best shape I've been in years. I weighed at least 240, 245. I'm not a small guy to start with. And they have me going over this PVC. And as I'm going over it, I lean on it and it breaks, which startles me because something lands on my back.
yeah.
And I stand up and I come up through the pipes above me. And then shit just starts falling down. And they're like, God, can you hear us? I'm like, and they said, quit breaking stuff.
Now, see, cut to us outside because all we hear is, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah,
So
We need a
They say,
bloopers
"Look."
show.
I know.
do what?
A bloopers show.
Oh,
Superhero
I wish we had
bloopers.
some.
Outtakes.
So
I would love it.
eventually managed through some of it, and I get to the thing, and I complete the task, and I'm like, I don't know if y'all are still listening to me, but I can't get out of here without crawling over some of the stuff I just broke. And they're like, go ahead, just get back to the pipe. And so I'm just like,
I know.
I get back to the pipe and I crawl out, and it was kind of. And the producer later, when they pulled us into that little one-on-one where we do our little one-on-ones backstage, I'm doing my little one-on-one, and the producer, I can't remember his name, but he comes in. He goes, Crippen, we have never. Diffuser. He never called me Crippen. Diffuser, we never laughed so hard as when you started breaking everything in that set. We were trying to keep composure, but we're like, he goes, two of the techies were like, told ya.
I was just thankful you went last because I don't know what they would have had us do. Like, it was hilarious. Yeah, but I can't remember what you did. But didn't you step on something squishy?
So yes, I stepped on a snake.
Yeah.
And I knew immediately that I'd stepped on something I shouldn't be stepping on.
Right.
But I didn't know what to do about it. Diffuser smash.
You can't
I
see.
thought,
Right.
I
can't see in there.
anything.
Yeah.
And
exactly it. So I'm like,
I just was like, look, guys, I just stepped on something, and you can hear the animal handler going, I need to see in there. I need to see in there. So they had this like little piece of plywood they lifted up.
Yeah.
And I guess the snake crawled out of the way, and she goes, fine, keep going. So
yeah, it was one of those squishy. All right. So for the photo shoot, right? Did you guys get an electronic press kit? So yeah, because I actually asked for one because they were talking about it. I'm like, how do we get these photos? And they're like, oh, it's for an electronic press kit. And I was like, how do I get one? And they're like, oh, you have to message us. So I did. This is the press kit.
Oh yeah.
So,
I've
yeah.
got one.
So it's like a little comic book, and
has the disc in it.
yeah, it has the first episode of our season in the back, right?
Yeah.
Cool
It's
picture
fun
of the
to
ball
watch
with us.
because it's not edited the same way.
It's not. It actually says right on it.
Hardly at all.
It says rough cut with some sound, visual effects, and music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was cool because it like has little things about all of our people that worked on the thing, Nash Entertainment, the each one of us has our own bios in here, like our cool pictures. And I think the coolest picture is Braids. Braid, do you remember your picture? Do you have anything for that?
Yeah.
Because the way you did yours. Okay, here you go. So this is what Braid's picture was. Whoops.
That's awesome.
With the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want to tell them how
Kind of
this happened?
Kind of Medusa-esque.
Medusa-like. Yeah, how they did that, they had to take each braid and they hooked it to like fishing line, the photographer, and then they had different people out somewhere holding each line so their hair just like stood out. It was so cool.
It was
It was cool.
super neat because I walked by and I was like, because if you were on a different color, they were doing it at the same time. So like they were stringing her hair up while she was wearing her wig to like this tress that was above it. And next door, I was filming mine. So like we're kind of doing all this weird stuff. But my favorite one, and I've never seen this picture out anywhere, but it's Stan standing on top of a taxi.
Yes.
And do you remember he actually stood on top of that taxi? Like
He did.
Yeah, he climbed up there.
I know. And people, I'm like, I forget how spry Stan was because I actually wrote it in my journal too. And I was like, I forgot Stanley climbed on top of a taxi for this. But
Because I think I was on the taxi. I don't know, with somebody other people on the taxi, and then they were like, "Well, let's just have Stan on the taxi." And we're like, "Well, wait a minute." Yes, it was so cool. It was just so cool.
It was neat because they built this whole entire set, and it was like half of a city block. So all of this stuff is actually in there, and like they kept spraying it down with water to make it look cooler, but it was slippery as heck. So we kept slipping around and stuff. It was fun. But
and then, do you remember when they said, "Who wants to fly?"
Yes.
And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said, "I'll fly." Yeah, because you have to get hooked to these cables and.
It's this picture right here. It was you, Hyperstrike, and Mindset of all people. And I'm like,
2 and 1.
They rigged me up too, but all the pictures I have, they were pretty terrible.
Either. Yeah.
I was dusting the windows. Yeah, I was dusting the. Yeah.
Well, when you're getting hoisted up there, it ain't fun, and you're a guy, so I can imagine it doesn't feel great when you got, I don't have a package. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's not pleasant.
I don't think I did because I thought it wouldn't interfere with my cape, so I said no. All right, last things, and then we'll get started with the episode again. But the photographer actually gave us all nicknames. Does anybody remember this nicknames? And by the way, people want to know, is this available on eBay? And cool. And did you know that Stanley could do parkour? And yes.
Yes.
And then Nick, to make fun of me, says, but Parthenon, you do fly like a duck. Yes.
Oh.
All right. But does anybody remember their nicknames from the photographer?
No clue.
Okay, so Mitzvahs was Matzah Man, which I thought was hilarious. Hygiena,
we all came back. Yeah.
Yes. So, because all of us got to come back and meet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why I was so excited.
Yeah.
I actually wrote in my journal. Then I'm like, we got to see Braid and Limelight and everybody. So it was super fun.
Yeah.
I think that was actually the first time I got to see your new outfit too, because we never got to see your new costumes. So it's kind of fun.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So Hygiena, yours was Feather Duster. That was your nickname. Whip Snaps was Whippersnapper. So that's fun. Limelights was Limey. Diffuser was Big Guy or Inspector Gadget. So whatever happened there. Braid was Hair Girl. Parthenon was P-Man or Parliament, which is funny because that's like the giant gay bar in Orlando. Or, and it's in quotes, Work It Bitch.
Wow.
Right. And I was like, I forgot the guy, the camera guy was actually hilarious because I was talking to him for quite a long time. Hyperstrikes is pretty good. His was Flapjack. That was nice. Basura's was Trash Girl, of course. And Mindsets was Mental Case. It was fun. See, this journal is coming in so handy. I love it.
I love it.
All right. So I think it is a time to fly, although Dylan's sticking up for me, so I got to show this real quick. Because, yes, I fly like a duck, a majestic duck.
Fabulous duck.
Yes, a fabulous duck. And Amy says, more of a swan or a peacock, which I will take. Same thing. It makes it good. All right, everybody. I think it is time to watch part 2 of episode 5. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yay. All right. So let me go ahead and share it. And boopity boop. And enjoy, you guys. We'll be back after this episode. Bye.
Okay.
Whoops.
Whip Snap. This bring up memories other than the little house on the prairie? Here's a little tale about Whippy. Visiting a certain crush she had, who went by the name of T. Let's cue the tape.
Ran over to T's house, jumped on the roof on a second-story building. T would not allow her in, and ended up to wait and sleep the entire night there until the next morning, when finally T let her in.
No, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Gee, it's freezing out here.
That's true. Okay, I can explain that. Yes, I was in love once upon a time in my life. And I actually confiscated my friend's keys to their vehicle.
Isn't confiscating just another word for stealing?
Actually, it is.
Hygiena. This'll tip you off. This saucy little number right here.
Ooh, Hygiena, that boa. It is pretty saucy. Hygiena? Something you want to tell us?
College?
Great.
That doesn't count.
Hygiena has this secret interest and attraction to dancing burlesque. She'd like to learn how to dance burlesque.
Oh, yes.
She always has liked to dance sexy and seductively.
That is correct. That is a secret of mine, that I would like to take burlesque dancing.
Will we have to put up some sort of a stripper pole in the lair now?
Now.
He's got a lot on everyone, huh? What did you say, spandex boy? Well, let's see how you like the spotlight.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Dr. Dark doesn't scare me for a second.
Your friends back at the circus recreated one of your more embarrassing moments. Let's take a look.
That's not funny.
What was that?
Was that supposed to be you? I was once fired from a show. I was supposed to do a kip up with no hands holding a flag, so like this. Right? However, my costume was very slippery, the gym floor was very slippery, and it took me about 20 or so tries, and I must confess I never actually made it up. So they fired me.
Stan, one of your superheroes has a little performance anxiety.
I have to tell you, I'm a little concerned here, Hyper. I thought you were always able to come through in the clutch.
Check it out.
Whoa.
Yeah! Coordinated as ever.
So far, I think my team has the edge, Dark.
I'm not done yet. Now let's visit Mr. Fancy Pants Parthenon. Oh, look what just sailed into your world. It's an evil little ship, isn't it?
Not so evil.
Pirates are always evil. I've got a few cousins that are pirates. Should I push play?
Go ahead and play it.
Hi, everyone. A little known fact about Parthenon is that every room in his house is themed in a different way.
Oh, I love it.
They want to show you his greatest room, which is his pirate room. He's got his pirate booty spilled out all over the desk. And then that brings us to the chest, which is where he hides his booty as well. So we'll open it up and see what he has inside. And that's where he holds his gold.
Well, a whole room dedicated to the dark side. Do you see my point, Stan? He's obsessed with the dark side. I believe I can sway him over.
I'm your father, Parthenon. Come to the dark side.
I wouldn't count on that either. Pirates? I never would have guessed it, Parthenon.
And last, but certainly not least, look what I came up with, Mr. Diffuser.
What is it?
It's a high school diploma. Care to elaborate?
Sure. One of my biggest regrets, I was not able to graduate, but I didn't get to walk across the stage with my schoolmates. And it was completely my fault. I spent too much time goofing around.
I appreciate your honesty.
Actually, I think it shows character flaw.
I dealt with that regret years ago, so if that's the best you've got.
Well, let me show you this. And last, but certainly not least.
What is it?
Well, let me show you this. Glug, glug. Oh, good times.
We know it wasn't him.
You were a wild one, huh?
I'll start. As a rule, I don't drink.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Probably maybe 3 different times in my life, I did drink alcohol. The best story is when I had to go to intoxilizer school. So they gave me lots of vodka. I'll just leave it at that.
There's more to that story. Let's cue the tape.
So he went to the bathroom. His classmates came in to find the entire stall destroyed.
Oh, no.
I believe that. Destroying public property?
It was completely accidental, Mr. Lee. I was at the urinal, fell towards the sink, broke the sink off the wall. Oh. The water started shooting in my face. It scared me, so I tried to back up. I smashed the partition. The partition was help holding up some of the ceiling tiles. They came crashing down.
I believe that.
Diffuser, that's a pretty big story. I'm surprised you didn't come clean with everything right from the start.
Fair enough.
And I think the message here is there's a whole side to these people that you just don't know.
I feel I know my superheroes a little bit better, and I've got some things to think about here. Dark, I think you should leave now.
Fine. Dr. Dark, out.
And not a moment too soon.
I heard that, Stanley.
I'm impressed that you were so open about your past.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
You've given me some things to think about. And now I'm going to give you some things to think about. It's time for your mission reports. Now, I know this is a difficult task, but I need you to be as thorough and as honest as you can be. This is another way for you to help me make my final decision of who will be my next superhero.
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Stanley wants us to be brutally honest. You definitely have to think about it, you know, before you decide to put anybody on paper.
Something I hear constantly is that I tend to be too quick to take charge. And I'm more exasperated that I honestly feel I have stepped back and no one's stepping up.
Heroes, here is your mission report summary. The Diffuser and Parthenon are believed to be the Strongs. Whipsnap tends to overreact when under pressure. Hygiena consistently underperforms in missions. Over half of you think that Whipsnap is the least heroic.
All right?
I think the monkey on Whipsnap's back is her self-doubt. And I know she's working on it, but I don't know if she's actually conquered that yet.
I'm tired of crying, you know? I'm tired of crying. If I can control it, I would. No, I'll never feel comfortable.
I don't ever want to let my teammates down, ever. I'll go home. And it doesn't take a lot for me to feel like a failure.
Let's go talk. Something I've been wanting to tell you. I was one of the people who put you as the weakest superhero. So I wanted you to know that.
You know,
You know what I mean?
so weak is based on performance or weak is based on...
weakest based on the performance.
Yeah. Why? Because I haven't won a mission?
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know, because I think that's kind of weak if you can say something on that mission report and not say it to people in their
Right,
faces. And that was
exactly.
really important to me. I mean, I know it's impossible for it to not change things between us a little bit. I wanted her to know why I thought she was the weakest hero, what she could do to get better at it. And I'm not sure Whipsnap necessarily understood what I was trying to explain to her.
You don't have to say anything now.
I have no regrets about my judgment. I think
Yeah.
I made the right judgment.
Yeah, I'm taking the back, and I would take that. That's your opinion.
And I know we're not here to have best friends, but I'm mad about that.
Hello, superheroes.
Hello,
sir.
Well, it's been a tough couple of days, and I know I have to make some tough decisions. It's time for eliminations.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
See you up there.
Meet me on the rooftop.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Now we're down to 5. I should probably start sizing everybody up as to their strengths and weaknesses and how they relate competing to me.
I've had an amazing journey, but I mentally try to prepare myself as much as possible because I could be going home.
I'll tell you exactly who's at risk.
Everyone!
It's getting to the point where I can no longer tell who will be on the red box, and that's a scary point to get to.
True believers, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to what I've come to consider our Temple of Truth. It's here that I offer frank observations about your journey to become superheroes. This week, you've had another encounter with that masked menace, Dr. Dark. You returned power to the city. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job.
And more importantly, as a superhero must, you faced your fears. In this case, literally.
There are humongous snakes in there. That we did, sir.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, beyond what's transpired over the past 2 days, I have to look at every facet of your performance here in the lair to make my final decision. Parthenon.
Yes, sir.
While you were in the power diverter, you shrieked. That might have been the first time in recent history that I heard a superhero scream.
Well, sir, I'd like to think of it as a battle cry more than anything else.
Ah, that's an interesting take on it. My main concern about you is, while you performed well physically in missions, I still want to know what's going on in here. This competition is as much about the intangibles. I need to see more evidence of your inner heroic qualities. I want to see you be a leader.
Yes, sir.
Hygiena,
Yes, sir.
in the power diverter mission, you faced your fears of spiders and claustrophobia.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Thank you.
But once again, your own fears hindered your ability to complete the task. You generally take the longest of all the superheroes to complete the missions.
I don't even know where to begin. That one's crooked, too.
You know, facing one's fears is not the same as conquering them. Hyperstrike.
Yes, sir.
I want you to know that I was impressed when you spoke so candidly to Whipsnap.
That's about the people who put you as the weakest superhero.
That took real courage to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. But that's what a superhero needs to do.
Thank you.
Whipsnap.
Yes, sir.
When approached by fans in the restaurant,
Did I?
you were very gracious.
This is great. I was deeply moved by that.
However, you were cited by your fellow heroes as least heroic. That troubles me greatly. And more than anyone else here, you seem to be buckling under the pressure.
It's too hard on me. I don't think I can do this anymore. Yes, sir.
The diffuser.
Yes, sir.
While we've learned a lot about you these last few days, thanks to Dr. Dark, we learned that you don't hold alcohol too well.
I was at the urinal, and I smashed the partition. The partition was help holding up some of the ceiling tiles. They came crashing down.
But in the restaurant, you had an inappropriate interaction with a fan.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
You gave them articles of your costume and weaponry.
I gave them a piece of memorabilia.
As a big superhero fan yourself, you should know that a superhero's costume is sacrosanct. A superhero doesn't give out parts of his costume as souvenirs.
Yes, sir.
It's now time for me to ask three of you to step forward and tell me why I should not send you home. The diffuser, please step forward. Whipsnap, please step forward. Hygiena. Diffuser, why should I keep you in the lair?
Mr. Lee, I think you should keep me in the lair because each time I've made an error, you've accurately pointed out my missteps. And I would like to continue receiving your criticisms because they mean a lot to me.
Thank you, Diffuser. Hygiena, why should I keep you in the lair?
Well, Mr. Lee, after that mission, I feel like I am a superhero. I can't tell you what that means to me. And even if you send me home tonight, sir, which I don't want you to do, you have already given me such a wonderful gift of feeling like a superhero. But I promise if you let me stay, I will grow more.
Thank you, Hygiena. Whipsnap,
Sir,
why should I keep you in the lair?
I realized that by always doubting myself, I haven't really actually stepped up to the plate. Being that I had such a hard life and not getting a fair deal, I always found fault in myself. And coming into this layer, I also realized that I don't have to doubt myself. I deserve to be here.
Thank you, Whipsnap.
Thank you.
And thank you, superheroes. As always, I must really wrestle to try to decide whom I must send home. Diffuser, as a police officer, you came into this experience already somewhat of a hero. You showed great humility at Dr. Dark's revelations about your past. But that said, I was disappointed by your bad judgment in the restaurant.
If the bad guy's chasing you, you throw it behind you, and it'll stop the bad guy.
A superhero's costume should be treated with respect. Hygiena, you are a shining presence in this lair.
Thank you.
Your friends have observed your courage, and rightly so. But having said that, your fears have repeatedly affected your performance.
I can't stand the thought of wearing someone else's dirty clothes. Gross.
Remember, this is a competition. I don't think I've ever really seen you perform to your full potential.
Yes, sir.
I also need to see some more leadership from you.
Yes, sir.
Whipsnap. On one hand, what you've done here is inspirational. You have the potential to be a role model for showing what can be accomplished when you shove life's hardships aside and push yourself forward.
Thank you, Stan. You're making me blush.
Now, on the other hand, though, a hero must boldly confront his or her fears, which you didn't do with the roller coaster.
Do you guys not want to ride the ride?
No, I'm a runner. I'm not a rider.
Here.
Simply put, a hero must inspire confidence and keep it together under pressure. I'm not seeing that from you, and unfortunately, neither are your fellow superheroes. Over half of you think that Whipsnap is the least heroic. Superheroes. The person leaving the lair tonight is... Diffuser. Hygiena. Whipsnap. The time has come. The person leaving the lair tonight is... Whipsnap.
I have to get on the block. I love you, girl.
I'm so glad I got to love you, baby. Love you, baby. I will.
We'll see each other.
Whipsnap, I'm sorry. While I could no longer ignore the difficulty you've had from day one,
I just feel like a failure. I let my family down. God, I don't think I can do this no more. It's too hard on me. It's just really difficult for me right now.
I want you to know that I have the utmost respect for you and for what you've done here. I hope you'll go back to your life and remember this experience with fondness and pride.
I don't feel bad, Stan. I feel honored to be here. And thank you for acknowledging my existence. And I've been around a bunch of courageous and inspirational superheroes. And I'm happy. I'm okay with this.
Whipsnap, please turn in your costume.
She's a strong woman, and I wish that I could have some of that rub off on me.
This is just, I don't look at it as a blow, you know, it's just life. You know, out of thousands of people, I was chosen. You know, it's one of the 10 superheroes. And that's something that has definitely given me confidence. This definitely has done that for me.
Superheroes, you are my final four. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
The sadness that you feel just shows me how you have grown together, and it demonstrates the bonds that you've made. But remember, this is a competition, and I need to see your inner heroic qualities. That'll help me decide which one of you final four will become my next great superhero. Good luck.
We're ready, sir.
Excelsior.
It's alive!
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so that was episode 5. Let me get the other heroes back on here. There you go. Welcome back.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly. I know. So, episode 5, we had to say goodbye to Whipsnap. I know. She was so good, but you know, it's one of those things. But I also
There
wanted
can
to
only
point
be
out
one.
thing. I know, to rule them all. It's like a ring. But the thing that I think is kind of like that stands out the most is that we got off the boxes. Because again, we were told not to get off the boxes no matter what we did. And we did it once before, and that was for Limelight, because that one completely caught us way off guard. And then this one, we were just like, nope, we got to get off the boxes again. It was like, so it was one of those things. What do you guys have thoughts about it?
It was cold
Any
that
thoughts?
night. It was cold night, you could tell.
Freezing.
It was a cold night, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was kind of neat is they finally showed the bookcase. Because that bookcase actually did move, and that was the door to get outside, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yes. All right.
I recall this was a late one. Like there's late, and then there was like a late.
This was like
one.
3, 4 in the morning, I think.
When you got that?
You guys were right.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Because I put it's 2 a.m. and we have to get up at 7. So I was like, great. I was like, yeah.
I think that as we got down to the 5 and then the 4, like there's more, of course, pressure on you, but there's also more time that we get to spend kind of just talking to Stan up there, and the scrutiny became closer. But it was also kind of neat because it was you got getting a little bit closer, and I always assumed I was going home like every time. So
I was pretty shocked when we watched the episode on TV.
Yeah.
Because my explanation for giving away the caltrop to the kid was the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
And I said I intentionally put these in my costume to give away to kids, like the
Yeah.
Lone Ranger gave away a silver bullet. And while I was on the stand, Stan agreed. He's like, "Oh, that makes sense now. I get it." And so I thought I was cool. And then when I watched it on TV, I'm like, "Hey, that's not what he said."
That's why a lot of people in the comments are saying something very similar, because like this one I think is it. Like inappropriate interaction is a pretty harsh statement.
Yeah.
It would normally be something else. When he said it, I'm like, what happened at the restaurant? Because I thought I was there for a whole thing, and I was like, what?
Because especially in law enforcement, that term has significant meaning.
Yes. And I was like, what?
We all, our faces were like, oh.
Yeah.
I know. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I had to make sure we go back for that because a lot of people commented on it. They're like, what? And I was like, yeah, it was a weird thing. And it never even crossed my mind. Like they did that weird shot to Hygiena, but we didn't think about it. You know what I mean? Because like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We were concerned that something else, you know?
Yes, they said, I know that my criticisms was I was the slowest, but we talked about before is I went through that tube the fastest.
You
But
did.
they didn't let that was not the storyline. So watching it again on TV, I was like, oh, okay, this is the story they're building around it. But in reality, it was, and I thought it was funny now watching it and the story, they did the little, our lives, our secret things in life. And then yours, diffuser, was about breaking something.
I thought it was funny too. And I was like,
broken the tube.
accurate. Right. So, but other people did notice it too because feedback said this: why are they showing Hygiena straightening a picture as evidence of taking too much time in a challenge where we were climbing through a tube and dealing with snakes?
Yeah, they were building a narrative.
They
That's
were
all it
building
was.
narrative, right? I mean, you don't know, right? You don't know until you get up there. Like you're unaware of like, how are they going to portray this, and how are they building it? So I just was like, okay, well, I'll take that criticism and. You move on, but I can understand that why it's always that was the thing that for us, even though we knew we were at on a show and we knew we were taping it, that kind of stuff we didn't know what was coming.
No,
we really didn't.
Right.
The audience should also recognize that when we're on those blocks and Stan is on that screen, they can have Stan talking to empty blocks, and the audience would never know.
Yeah.
There are things that he has said on that screen that I'm like, I don't remember any of that. So they could have recorded that whole thing with us not present.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's one of those, like you got to take it with a grain of salt kind of a thing. We do have a couple of other comments and questions. I can't find it, but Nick wants to know, were there any secrets you were worried about being revealed? And then we also have a kind of a follow-up one by Lynn, who wants to know why Diffuser got 2 negatives and everybody else got 1. But I have a funny story about that, and I can't wait to tell it. But does anybody else have any secrets that they were worried about getting revealed?
You know, not really. And I admit, back in the day when this aired, I was a little, and when we were filming it, I was a little annoyed that everybody else's negatives were comical negatives.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine were
I wrote the
actually
same
real issues. One,
Yes.
because I had to graduate summer school.
Right.
And to me, that was a real negative. I didn't get to walk the stage with my friends, and that was a regret that I've lived with my entire life. And 2, the fact that I don't drink alcohol and hadn't drank alcohol except maybe 3 or 4 times my entire life, they picked one that made me look like a freaking drunk.
But did you hear us behind you saying, I don't even drink alcohol? And I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yes,
We already
I did
did
hear
that.
that.
Yeah, because we're
that
like,
kind of annoyed me, but I got
Yeah.
over it.
the whole thing annoyed me. The secrets revealed part annoyed me a lot, but for many different reasons. Because, like, they took out everything funny in the whole entire segment. Like, everything. Because everybody got more than one thing, and I think that was, like, the thing. It's kind of like they picked the one weird thing to show on the TV, but yours were both really bad, which is why they showed both. But, yeah. But actually, somebody has this, by the way. Maybe they would show a negative, but it shows how much you've grown and overcome it. So see, there's something nice for you.
There
Boom.
you go.
Thank you, Chad. But so everybody had at least one thing that was wrong. Like Hygiena, do you remember your other one? Not just Stripperella, but
I don't.
you dressed up as Mickey. You dressed up as Minnie Mouse.
I do
Oh, jeez.
Right. I wrote all these
Yeah,
down because I'm like, I'm never gonna remember these. And I was like,
Yes. Yes. Maybe that. I mean, like that. There's a reason they cut that, right?
yeah. Well, the funny thing is like they took out all the funny bits because they started to get you about being a burlesque and wanting to do burlesque. And then Stan made the stripper pole comment, and I went, Stan, aren't you the guy that made Stripperella?
Yeah.
And then he started laughing, and then we were just like, and I was hoping I would be in there because I was like,
Right.
Right. My whole thing is I was trying to deflect the seriousness of these, and I thought I was doing a pretty good job, and they cut out every single thing I said.
Yeah.
If you notice during the whole entire thing, they went like this. This was my response to being a pirate.
Right.
Because everything I said was no way. Because so Hygiena was Minnie Mouse and burlesque. Hyperstrike got fired for bananas. I don't even remember what this means.
Oh, right. Yes.
Bananas? And I'm like, and the kick-ups. Whip Snap was slept on the roof. Diffuser had your 2. Mine, do you guys remember what it was? Because literally it was a tour of my house by my partner at the time. And I had told you guys about my secret rooms and like all of like my super themed rooms because my whole house is crazy, right? And then all they did was just show my house. And they're like, this is a pair of ruby slippers, and this is Dan's costume room, and then this is his pirate room. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, I'm so glad you guys get to see my house. But the things they called me out on was my costume room, because he's like, if you're just dressed up as superheroes, are you just playing a hero?
Oh, right.
Right. And so my response to it was, you have to start somewhere. And I was idolizing somebody, which is why I would dress up as them until I could actually become a full-fledged superhero. And he's like, good idea. Pirates, right? So then he asked me why I had a pirate room. So I was like, oh, I was in a play called Pirates of Penzance, and I was the Pirate King. So that's how I commemorate it. And then he's like, and I quote this, anyone who likes Gilbert and Sullivan can't be bad. And I laughed out loud. And to this day, it's one of my favorite Stan Lee stories. And I'm like, because I think it's hilarious. And then he took it all up. And every single funny thing we said, he cut out of it, which is literally why my response was,
You know, and it just goes to show that this reality show, there really wasn't a gotcha, like, here's your mugshot, the time that you know, it really was. Nowadays, there's so many cruel, like, horrible, that they love to get people at, like, here you're having an affair and blah, 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 blah. This wasn't that. This was, it was pretty light as far as things that we did wrong or things that were like bad,
That's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. Nick said, is there anything that you wanted to come up? I knew this was going to be a challenge. I knew it. So I specifically told every single one of my friends that I could think of. And I'm like, if anyone asks you for anything, give them nothing but funny, negative things. And I pre-told everybody that. And I'm like, if you don't, I will hate you forever. And all my stuff was fun. And I'm like, that's why I wasn't even worried. Because I'm like, there's nothing they could have asked anybody to get them to say anything. Because I was just like, no way.
But I don't think he was really, it wasn't going there. Like, we're going to take you down on live, on TV.
Right.
Kind of thing. It wasn't
like a thing. And then, by the way, Cody says it right, that none of my house is a secret because I will tell anyone it and I will show it off at any time.
Yeah,
It's a pretty awesome house.
It is.
Right. And theme rooms are in no ways negative. They're awesome. And you are correct. So that is good. But we have a question for Braid. What secret would they have revealed about you? Dun, dun, dun.
Like she's going to say now.
That's
I know.
secrets. I don't even know.
Anything from your CIA days?
I can't tell you that or I'll have to kill you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I did used to work for the CIA, so we'll just leave that right there. Yeah. That's the big secret that I have, but I just can't go into that. So
Yes. I know. Feedback's problem was he had a messy office. So there you go.
Right.
And Justin says that pirates rule and ninjas drool. So there you go. So, right. We answered that question. I'm just happy that Hygiena got to use her catchphrase of college because that was your catchphrase for the whole entire time. And I was just like,
yeah. I know.
when you're like, college. That's why we all laughed because we all thought it was hilarious because that was her catchphrase.
Yes, because there was a time where the diffuser was saying he would take his handcuffs and he'd make a noise, and he's like, anybody who knows or reacts to that noise, they've had handcuffs in their past, and I was like, college. Yeah.
I literally wrote it down. I hope. Wait a minute. All right, this is literally my notes of you. Wait, can you see it? College, Hygiena.
Yeah.
I wrote down my favorite comments from you guys, and that was one of mine for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I do want to do like a, where are they now kind of a thing for Paula, aka Whipsnap. She couldn't be here tonight because she's actually on a conference call for something way cooler. But I did want to tell you, I know, I'll kind of share a little bit of a secret for it too. But Whipsnap is great because she is always doing something and she's always out there, like putting herself on the line. And one of those times that she did that is, did you know that she did a show after ours?
Yes.
Anybody know it? Yes. Anybody else? Do you guys know it?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't remember.
I don't know the name of it, but I know, yeah.
Okay, so she was on a show. It was called She's Got the Look. And it was another reality show. And what it was a modeling competition for women over 35. So it was super specific. So I kind of wanted to show like a little clip of it. So here is a little snippet of the main host talking about it and the opening sequence. So here you go. Maybe. That's the wrong one. That's why that's not playing. Because that's just a screenshot. One more time. And here we go.
I think what She's Got the Look is going to do is empower women to realize that there's beautiful women out there over 35, that we can look better in our 30s, 40s, and 50s than we did when we were younger. We feel better about ourselves. And if we have that whole big package going for us, I don't think we're going to be as intimidated with these young girls that may have the whole outside package but might be a little bit empty inside. I hope this show really gives women a standard.
And there you go. Diffuser said you couldn't hear anything, but could you guys hear him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diffuser, you have something wrong with your stuff because you always have audio issues.
I'm on my iPad, so.
Got it.
Well, she's stunning.
She
Paula's
is.
stunning, and even more so on the show. I watched the show because it's kind of like America's Top Model.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, and she's beautiful, and even more, on a modeling show. She was beautiful.
She was stunning, and she's like super tall and statuesque. So she was great. For the show.
Total model. Yeah.
So I was super excited when I found out she was on the show. I watched it just because she was on it. They actually had 3 seasons. I only thought they had 1 because I never watched the other ones.
I didn't watch the other ones either.
Yep. They switched hosts on it and stuff like that, and they made it better.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other thing that she is currently working on, and let me see if I can share this, is she's actually the creator. She's actually a producer and a host of a new show that she is putting together called I Got the Beat. So this is kind of what it is, kind of a little bit of a thing about it. And basically the story behind it is she was actually the first woman that got approved for being a Blue Man Group. Do you guys know the Blue Man Group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So she actually got approved for that directly before she got on the show. So she had to choose to go on the Blue Man Group or to go on our show. And so she chose our show. But she's been a passionate drummer all of her life. So the idea behind this is that they're going to start highlighting the drummers in the different bands and stuff like that, and then kind of make a super group kind of around them. And then it's
cool.
Yeah, and then she's going to be the host of it. And the weird thing is, she based her pitch for this is kind of she was so inspired by Stan Lee that she kind of and so she wants to have something for it. So I think the grand prize for it is a drum set with Stan Lee's signature on it, and like it's all Stan Lee themed or something like that as well. So that's a little bit about what she's doing now.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. So
Very
she's
cool.
actually she's on set doing stuff like that kind
She's
of stuff.
forgiven then for missing.
This
Same
one
thing.
time.
I know. I said, all right, you can miss it. And I'm like, I'll tell your story for you so it'll be okay. So I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. And then, by the way, other people agree because she looks gorgeous and she looks incredible and awesome. Yes. And I'm going to have that she's got the look stuck in my head forever, which is true.
For 3 days.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the whole point of that one. So the other thing we're going to do to this week is we were going to show some like fan art or sketches of our superheroes and stuff like that. Right?
Right.
So some people were good about getting stuff back to me. Some people sucked at this. So that's why there's going to be differences in how much stuff that we have for each hero. Mm-hmm. But it'll be fun. But I kind of wanted to show at least a little bit of it because I think they're kind of a fun thing to look at. So, Hygina, do you want to walk us through some of your stuff?
Well, that looks like a pencil sketch.
I like it.
I can't, that was I can't read the signature now.
Alec something. It's fine. Let's go through it. I like this one. I think it's cool, but I want you to have a cape. So that was one of my.
Oh, that was right. That was. I think that was a decision. Sometimes they didn't want the heroes having capes.
Yeah.
People that became fans of the shows had ideas of their own about how the costumes should have gone.
Yeah.
I think that this was a reimagined. You know,
I think it's cool.
Cape.
All right, I love this one.
Oh, I know. South Park.
Yeah.
That
makes
was
me
it.
happy.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love your little fairy wand. It's good. This one's quite cool. I like this one quite a lot.
Yes, I really like that one too. I was flattered by that one. I thought that was and I like it's a little bit different. Time to clean up. That's a good catchphrase too.
I think so. I like it. This one's fun. It's like yay. I like it because it's painting too.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. This one's just adorable on every level.
Oh, I know. It's very anime, right?
Yeah, chibi. It's chibi anime. So yeah. I like it. All right. Ting.
Very cute. You know how you had your cover drawn for you, Dan? This could be definitely a more realistic, closer to home Hygina cover, I thought.
I think so too. I liked it. I thought it was kind of quite nice. It was fun. You'll have to explain these to me because I don't know what these are.
This is somebody from Skiffy Town. I think they did them for all of us. And there was a program at that time where you could take, like a form, and it's obviously CG, and then you could make almost like stop motion movies. And they said this was what they were going to use for Hygina, which is a little bit more like Wonder Woman, I thought. It is. Yeah.
But you got Bee Sting's hair, which is nice.
Right.
Since you brought it up, I at least want to show these off because you guys know what Skiffy Town is, right? I know. I'm assuming you guys know. Yes, most people. All right.
Yep.
So for those of you that don't know, what Skiffy Town is the people that were really true, like hardcore fans of the show, created their own superheroes, and they still wanted to do something with them. And when the show didn't have a third season, they bound together, and Skiffy Town became their own thing. It started in the sci-fi forums, right? And then they kind of spun off, and they have their own humongous following. Like, I actually partner up with them sometimes at conventions, and we make stuff for kids. They actually put out their own comic books, so they put out their own Skiffy Town comic books with their own original heroes. Like, I'm a patch-carrying member of the Skiffy Town crew.
Yes.
So it's one of those, like, super fun people. And then, look, there's actually people like Skiffy Town and Skiffy Town and Skiffy Town. Because they're always super fun, and they're just, like, a really good group of people. And they're,
Skiffy
like...
Town came from Sci-Fi, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They took the name Sci-Fi because it was the Sci-Fi Network, and there used to be a chat board there.
Yeah.
And they made it. There was like a play on Sci-Fi with Skippy.
Many of the people who started the Skiffy Town auditioned
Yes.
for season 1 and/or season 2.
So they had it. Yeah, they were invested. They were invested in their characters and in us.
Look, wait. Okay. Do you guys know Perkayla?
Yeah.
She's super fun. Yes. And do you guys know, were any of you guys involved in the fan-based online version of our show?
No.
Okay. So I will show a little clip next week, but we actually had Who Wants to Be a Superhero online, and the Skiffy Town crew actually competed in these giant things, and it was somebody else who actually put the whole thing together, and I'll go back and watch. But I was one of the hosts for it, so then they would tell me who did what, and they would give them puzzles each week, and then they had like a superhero that came out of it. Oh wait, see, James Wars was on it. Ding, yeah. And Perkayla was on it too, and a couple other Skiffy Town crew were on it. So then we actually made a whole intro for him. So I'll bring it next week. So
good. That would be good.
Because it was super cute, and it was like it's like a fan-based like whole thing, and it was super fun. And Perkayla says it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Because I tried my best to make it like authentic, so I made them like their own intro and everything. So
I have no doubt, Dan, you could run you could do the season 3 probably from your house.
Don't tempt me. I know I can. So here is a little bit more of Hygiena Art. I love this one. This one's very
I like this one too. I like that. Yes. I thought that was another one.
Burlesque-ish.
Yes. They took that.
I love it.
Yep.
That one looks like a standard. Okay, don't take offense to this, but it looks like Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, a little bit.
In the fishnets, like.
Yes, I think you're some type of avatar creator.
I loved it. These are adorbs.
I like those too.
Yeah. So Skiffy Town people actually, a couple of them are really good artists. And I think this one is Crash, who actually made these. But he made little ones of almost everybody, like actually probably like 5 or 6 of us. So here's Hygiena's. There's Hyper Strikes.
I love that.
Yeah. Hyper Strikes look super cute. I was going to try to recenter it. This is painful to work with. Okay, hold on a minute. Some of them are much smaller than
dizzy, man.
I know. Sorry. There's Limelight looking adorbs.
Yeah.
And then apparently there is just there you go. Mindset.
Oh, wow.
Yep. But that's back when he was Omicron. So that was his original character.
Omicron, right.
Yep. And little me, little diffuser. And on it. Why are we so small and we so big? I thought I did these like in order, and I was like, this will be great. Yeah. I know. So there's little me looking kind of Asian, like I do.
I love these. Yeah.
I know. Diffuser looking neat. And then this guy actually made the cover for the Civil War, which is what they were doing for their when Omnicron became a villain and he did his own shtick thing.
I love this creativity. I love that they take the time. It's so awesome.
I agree. Like, it's just super neat. So here's one cute one of Hyperstrike looking adorbs. Yeah.
Also,
this one is Hyperstrike looking, I don't know, thick in the face.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's being nice. Diffuser, here's yours. Punching Stanley's robotic clone. I like it.
Giant evil robot Stan.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Right? I thought that was neat.
A lot to know.
This one I thought was neat. It's obviously that CG creator too. But
Yep.
All right. Now we're getting to Basura. Yeah, I thought this one was super cute because I was like, I could see that.
It's a little bit like the Star Trek girls that have green skin. Yeah.
I can see that. This one I thought was really well done, but it doesn't. I kind of get it, but I lose it in her hair, but I like it because it's her clothes kind of like.
I love the pencils, the sketching on it though.
Yeah. This one, I'm like, all right, it looks exactly like her, but I don't know what she's doing. So I'm like, looking strong. Then
She's talking to the roaches.
Yeah.
I remember these.
I tried to find the rest of these.
Origamis?
Yeah, they're little cute box people of us.
What?
Yeah. So you fold them up, and then it's like a
Yeah.
little cute version of you, and you stack them all
They
together.
made one for each of us.
They did. I couldn't find the rest.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's her in her trash can looking like Oscar the Grouch.
Cool.
Yeah. And then finally, her with Stan looking adorbs.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it was cute. Now, here's some of mine. So this is one of mine, I actually use this as the header of my Facebook thing for quite a long time.
I like that. Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I thought it was
Nice.
super fun. Yeah. Me bouncing bullets, because one of my superpowers is like an impenetrable barrier.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Little chibi me. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Baby you.
Yeah. Gamey.
I like
So it's
that.
nice.
I like that.
It's a nice little rainbow touch. These are some playing card things. So that's kind of fun. Me looking fierce.
I like
Yeah.
that. Look at you, all beefy.
I love this one so much.
I love that too.
I feel like this is my
That's kind of
spirit
like
animal.
total Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Like I love it.
Titans.
It's wackadoodle. It's super fun. So like,
Oh, look at you.
Right?
Buff Parthenon.
This is what I wish I looked
Yeah.
like. I'm like, all right.
And I like what's going on with the gauntlet on that.
Yeah, it's going my all stone. Boom. I like
Yeah.
this one because it looks very Disney-ish, like if Disney drew
Very
me.
Silver Surfer almost.
Oh, yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. Oh, this one is cute. So one of my friends, Donna Coffee, drew this for me when I was off the show. And so she drew that. She's like, no. So this is actually her
Aw.
and me. So it's kind of fun. This is actually my favorite one. I
Oh,
love
that's
this one.
awesome. Yeah.
It's super cute. That's one's like a thing. This one requires a little bit of explanation. So you guys remember I was a college professor, right?
Right.
So I was actually the head of a department. So the head of the graphics department actually drew this for me. His name is Tim, right? So he drew like a little turnaround to me, which I thought was really cool. And he's like, I also drew you something else. And I was like, okay. And he's like, it's you as a butthead. And I was like, that's more Tim. That right there is Tim. Right. So then we got like a little yay me, and like they made little paper dolls of us. So I tried to find the recipes too, and I can't find the rest of
maybe
them online.
that's what I was talking about, Dan. There was a doll given.
Yeah.
Remember we
So-
were talking earlier? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So these are yes.
That's it,
So the other ones are great. This one is made by there's a online hero called or comic books. Like, let me try that one more time. An online comic strip called Boy Meets Hero, and so the guy did one of me. So I thought that was
Oh, I
super
love
flattered.
that.
I know, I look
Very cool.
super
Very
buff.
nice. Look at
Like,
those knuckles.
right? I want to scroll in for this one because this one I think is hilarious. It's like the weirdest version of me, but yet it's one of my favorites. Nope, I can't find it. Oh, damn it. Next time I'm gonna have to get these. There you go. So it's like
Yes.
a little weirdest one of me, so I love it. All right, this is me if I was in The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, I gave all of the heroes a chance to send me whatever they wanted to, and I just happen to have 45 of them. Like this one up. Oh, that's what that button does.
That's cute.
Right.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Oh,
okay.
These are some of my favorite things, these next ones coming up, because they are the most wackadoodle things that I own, right? It's me as a Pokemon, me as a Tomu, me as a Lego person, me as a robot, and then me if I was a raccoon. Mhm. Yep. Followed closely by the second most weirdest thing that I own, me as a cookie jar.
Nice.
I loved it because I thought the one handle being my gauntlet was hilarious. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe that was the coffee pot. Yes.
That reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, the animated.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I like it. I should totally do that. This is me if I was a lesbian.
Ooh.
Yep. Parthenet. That's good. Right. That one's too small, so we'll skip it. This is me if I was in Tom of Finland. Right.
Or the movie 300.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So the person that actually drew the comic book cover that I showed you guys before, like the one that I was much happier with, he was actually an instructor of mine. So he drew this, which was my super villain. So his name is Victorious. So he was always my arch nemesis kind of a thing.
I love it.
This one I love. So this was
that's cute.
Yeah.
yeah, I love it because it's like me if I was maybe 18. So I had to be like Limelight, something like that. This is probably one of the funniest ones that I saw online. This is me and Hyperstrike. You're so gay. And I'm like, accurate. And last one. Oh, wait. See, Dylan says, I make a pretty girl. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
For sure.
All right. And then this one is fun because this one I actually drew of all of us. So this is my
Yes,
stuff.
I remember this. The Heroes Layer website. And I thought that was brilliant.
So-
and I love how it's,
Yeah. So I did everybody for each one of us so they could have like their own thing on it. And it was an interactive Flash website, which is why it no longer exists because Flash doesn't really exist. But you
Yeah.
hover over each one of us and our cube turns red and you can click on us and view more about us. And it was the Heroes Layer website.
It was very nice, Dan. Thank you for doing that. That was really nice.
I thought it was fun because I think we needed like a place where like all of our stuff is in one spot. So for that, I actually made each one of us logos and stuff if we didn't have one. Like,
she's not
it's fun. So I like it. It was good. All right, so that was some of our fan artwork. Dun dun dun. Oh, see, at least one person remembers it. The website was great. Thank you, Jane.
Yeah.
Boom. One true fan that knew it. All right, so I think we answered all the different questions. One person says, woohoo, Lego Dan, so it's nice.
Lego Dan.
I know. I kind of want the little Lego me. Oh, I forgot to show you. I actually have weirder stuff that I've gotten as gifts over the years. Like, I know. This is a plexiglass light-up Parthenon logo.
Oh, that's cute.
That's awesome.
I know. My friend Rose is very crafty, and so she's like made a whole bunch of stuff. She also made this, which is a Parthenon puppet. Yeah. Creepy or cool? Somewhere in between, right?
I think he should host next week's.
Don't tempt me because you know I will. I have little Parthenon wood. And then this is probably, I'll show you two more and then we'll quit. My friend Jose, who is a fantastic artist and graphical in all nature, presented me with this, which is a custom Funko Pop of Parthenon.
Nice.
Super fun, super cute.
I like that.
Awesome.
Right. Has a little gauntlet. And I was like, yeah. And then the last thing is, I used to work at a college and it was all like graphical people and stuff like that. But weirdly, my friend Carol, who was the registrar, her husband worked in wood. Okay. So he carved a wooden Parthenon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
And I was like,
that is awesome.
That is so cool.
I know. And yeah, so, yep, Gary Bledsoe, Carol's husband. So I was like, what? And it is like weirdly cut out and super detailed. And I was like,
wow. Wow.
Yeah, I've got a metal one over my head here.
I see that
I
one.
love that.
Yeah.
And you can't tell, but it's got, well, I'll grab it. Hang on.
Do it. And yeah, it makes it fun. And, oh, wait. Ta-da. This is my friend Jose who made the Funko Pop. That was so much fun to make. So there
It's
you go.
bigger than it looks.
Oh, geez, that is bigger than I remember.
Wow. You can give me that. Because we're doing
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, very nice.
That is super cool. I love it, love it. So it makes
I
it
have
fun.
something to show too, but I was hoping Basura would be there. Basura made me this. It is a scrubber. It's like a Klingon.
Batleth. It's a Klingon batleth. Yeah.
And it has like there's Ella, and it has these scrubbers. She made this and gave
Love
it
it.
to me. I was hoping when she comes back, we'll show it to her. But yeah, I keep that
Pretty
like
awesome.
by my brooms and mops. Seriously, right now, I think we cleaned something off the breezeway, right? With it, I'm not joking, because we're doing the COVID cleaning. Everybody is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
So she made me something that I still use.
See, that's adorable. I love it. Heroes Unite. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Are we ready for episode 6, part 1? 6. 1.
And Fonzie, I have to go, so I won't be here when you come back for 6.
Well, thank you for joining us, Ray.
Next week.
Yes, for the finale.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum. Well,
I
thank
love you
joining.
all, superheroes.
Bye, Bray.
Bye. Good night, Ellie.
Good night.
Say good
All
night.
right.
Good night. She's
Good night,
leaving.
sweet girl.
Okay. She'll
All
be
right.
going to bed soon too.
I like it. All right,
All
everybody.
right, let's start
enjoy
it.
Episode 6,
Okay.
part 1. Here we go.
Who wants to be a superhero? The remaining 5 superheroes continue to compete for immortality.
Hello, Super Zeros.
Dr. Dark stole power from the city and forced the heroes to face their fears.
You did it.
Then, they went out for a night on the town.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
I have a lot of gadgets. Bad guys chasing you, you throw it behind you, and it'll stop the bad guy. All right?
But back at the lair,
There's something I've been wanting to tell you.
Whipsnap discovered that the other heroes thought she was weak.
I'm tired of crying.
And later, at elimination,
True believers, welcome.
Stan brought forward the diffuser.
In the restaurant, you had an inappropriate interaction with a fan.
Whipsnap.
You seem to be buckling under the pressure. That troubles me greatly.
And Hygiena.
Your own fears hindered your ability to complete the task. The person leaving the lair tonight is Whipsnap.
Now, Stan has his final form. Who will become the next great superhero?
I am shocked. I thought I was going home. I thought
When
I
you
was
three
going
were,
home.
I thought it was you too.
I actually was feeling for the diffuser because I didn't think he was doing that well in the competition.
But honestly, I thought it was me going home.
When I wake up tomorrow and Whipsnap's not here, I'll miss her. But I have to admit, when I heard her name, if I had to name one feeling, it was relief that it wasn't me.
Do you know what a huge responsibility it is to be the last girl here, you guys?
There's only 4 of us in the house now. Hyperstrike, Parthenon, Diffuser, and I. And I was like, okay, I have to stick this out for the other girls.
The good news, we're looking at the final 4.
Yeah.
Because what are we?
We're heroes!
Superheroes, as you are learning, evil is everywhere, and you can never be too careful. So I will have to transmit information to you in code. For this first code, I plan to make it very elementary for you. So elementary, in fact, that a 4th grade student should be able to crack it. I have a very important group of individuals I need you to meet and work with. Report to 3838 Rosemead Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Lake.
All righty.
I was really surprised that it was in elementary school and they were so excited to see us.
Good morning, class.
Do you have a question? My powers come from my gauntlet. Because when I press my green gemstone, I can do my sonic blast.
I am Hygiena, and I have the superpower of fast cleaning. I can shoot these blasts
Wow.
that clean up the whole area.
I trained in invincible style martial arts, and I can focus my chi and launch it in a blast, like so. Hyper blast!
I got my taser gloves that when I turn them on like that, I can just zap the bad guy with them, and that takes the fight right out of him.
Dude, that's so cool.
Sorry, I should have turned it off. Sorry.
True believers, welcome to El Sereno Elementary School. I believe Mr. Morita has some envelopes for you.
Of course.
In your envelopes, you will find a top secret letter containing 15 coded questions.
Thank you, sir.
Each multiple choice answer corresponds to a different letter of the alphabet, so your correct answer will decode my message. Break into groups and find the answer with the help of these students. Now remember, a true superhero needs to work well under pressure, so you'll have 5 minutes to decode my message.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
All right, well, let's pick a group. Y'all look like mine. We need to divide the classroom up into 4 groups, 1 hero for each group, and we needed to get down to these questions. I'm the diffuser. Can y'all say that for me? All right. The most important thing for me was to get the kids comfortable. I'm kind of a tall guy. I can be sometimes a little imposing, so I really got down at their level. I want to know who y'all are.
Hi, my name is Shannon.
What's that?
Shannon.
You don't like your name? I have a silly name in real life, too. My last name in real life is Stork, just like the bird.
When I was a kid, I had a funny last name, and I got picked on from day one constantly, and it was horrible, but looking back at it now, it definitely built my character.
Sometimes kids will pick on you if your name's a lot different, but it makes you unique, you know?
So here's how I think it should work. What if I answer the question and we can all kind of discuss the answer? We have to remember that time is of the essence. We got to be going it pretty darn quick.
Okay, guys, we need to win this, right? So let's see what we got here. Okay, so it says.
All right, everybody.
Here we go, guys. First question.
Here's the first question. A compass needle is one of Dr. Dark's weapons. No. A thin piece of copper, a magnetized piece of iron, or a rolled up piece of aluminum foil. How about a magnetized piece of iron?
This challenge could have been renamed Are You Smarter Than a Fourth Grader?
All right, we'll circle that one. Excellent. And I believe I am. We're doing good, you guys.
Okay, so to construct an electromagnet, do you get a battery, a wire, and an iron rod?
I could have answered, but that wasn't really what I felt maybe the challenge was about.
Do you test the electric magnet using a compass?
It was really important for me to let them answer the question.
What do you guys think for that one? You think it's get a battery, a wire, and an iron rod? So that would be an S. We're doing so good, you guys.
On to the next page. We're doing well. Why are electromagnets needed for earphone speakers?
I've got a lot of experience working with kids. I've coached kids before. I perform for kids, and that's a huge advantage because I was never the best with science.
Do you think it's E?
Yeah. E.
Okay, let's go with E, guys. If that's what you think.
So 9 times 3 is 27, so we'll put that there. So we need a 0 and a 1. Oops, not a 1, a 3. How about $903? All right, let's circle it.
Which type of rock is formed by pressure and heat below Earth's surface? Igneous rock? Evil rock? Metamorphic rock? Metamorphic? Y'all are my team, I trust you.
14. How about 717?
One superhero notebook contains 70 sheets of paper.
Hyperstrike will backflip 1,500 miles.
Right, y'all are so totally making me look good, all right? Let me just tell you.
Some of those questions were pretty hard, but those kids were just right on top of it. I know I probably couldn't have done this without the kids' help.
All right, I think we're actually done with the questions and we have to start it there. Come on, you guys, let's go to the board. This is gonna be the tricky part.
There was 15 questions that we had to answer, and then what you had to do is run to the overhead projector and fill in all of your answers to spell out the final clue.
So number 1 is N, A, V.
Good work, guys. You got it done real fast. Report to the INTE. I think it's a puzzle. Like we have the first part, they have the second part, third, fourth. Yeah, so let's go give them the part that we have.
All right, you guys, I think we did it.
We've got our top secret stuff done, so we got to get up there.
Who's the fastest at arithmetic? Yes? Okay.
I was nervous that our team was last. And Mr. Lee has told me I needed to be quicker on my times.
All right, so it's R, right? Good. Good.
Okay, you have to add this one, and this one, okay?
All right, it's all you, diffuser.
All right.
All right, everybody, good job. Thank you guys for your help.
Okay, we got 2. One more page, guys.
All right, Hygiena, it's all you.
Hygiena, do you need any help over there?
No, we're on the last question. Okay, so that's an I, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go up there.
We finally got the answers and filled them in on the board. And then...
Hygiena, are you sure?
Hygiena?
Yes.
couple of words that are up there that are not correct.
Well, that's what we have for our answers. A couple of the questions on my team were wrong. All right, guys. But instead of me just answering them, I went back to the group. Maybe it's T. Because really, if you're in class, it's about the learning. Okay, let's try E.
All right.
Yes, Hygiena, that is correct. Very good job.
Good job, you guys. Good job.
Congratulations, superheroes. You were able to crack the code. Okay, super students, what is the secret message?
Reports to the intersection of South 2nd Street and East 10th Avenue downtown.
Head to the downtown location, but be careful. I'm afraid that Dr. Dark has spies everywhere. Good luck and Excelsior!
After we left the school, we went to the intersection of South 2nd Street and East Twin Avenue.
We were expecting to find some kind of crime scene, but there was nothing but a park.
The superheroes have reached the destination, and I'm jamming transmissions to their communication devices.
Superheroes, are you there?
Let's make these superheroes look like super zeros. They're all yours, Evil Stan.
We got to the location based on the decoder, and we were expecting to find some kind of crime scene, but there was nothing but a park.
All right, Evil Stan. I'm jamming transmissions to their communication devices.
Superheroes, are you there?
Let's make these superheroes look like super zeros. You're on, Stan.
Well, friends, it looks like Dr. Dark has fled the scene. But since we're here, let's do some good deeds for the citizens of this fine city.
Stan called us on our personal communicator devices, and it kind of sounded a little different. And I thought that was a little bit weird.
Thank you,
sir.
Let's do some good.
Fools! When I'm done, you'll be the laughing stock of this entire city.
Keep your eyes peeled. Keep it out.
Evil Stan, let's make sure everyone knows exactly who they are.
Hygiena, yell your superhero name.
My name is Hygiena.
Parthenon, yell your superhero name and catchphrase.
I am Parthenon and blings my thing.
Hyperstrike, let these people know who you are.
I am Hyperstrike!
You're up, Diffuser.
I am the diffuser. When evil's around, I'll take him down. I've been trained to always obey orders that are supposed to be coming from a trusted source, such as Mr. Lee.
Now, let's turn up the heat.
The Diffuser, take that man's hat.
I'm out here fighting crimes, Resident Evil. Tempted to do my best. I was wondering if you could help me out with something.
I'll be happy to try.
I'll borrow your hat for a little bit, sir.
You sure can, sir.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it.
Parthenon, borrow that woman's sunglasses.
All right. Excuse me. I was wondering if I could probably borrow your sunglasses for a moment. Is that possible?
She had these great sunglasses on. They were really expensive, so I asked if I could borrow them for a minute.
I'll give them back in a moment. Wonderful. Thank you so much. What do you think? Yeah? All right.
Diffuser?
Yes, sir.
You need 2 hats. Now.
Can I borrow your hat for just a moment? It's to fight evil. You have my word. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'll make sure you get it back, sir. In good condition, too. Okay.
Hyperstrike, rummage through that woman's bags.
How are ya?
Fine.
I'm a superhero. My name's Hyperstrike.
At first, it was like, great, we were serving the citizens. That was awesome. But it started to go downhill from there.
All I need you to do is let me check your bag. I'm doing security here real quick. I'm sure it's just some food, but it's just a precaution. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I assume so, but I just have to check. I'm a superhero. Make sure there's no bombs or whatnot in here.
Evil Stan, how about a song?
The Diffuser, go to the man with the piano and ask him to create a song about you.
Can I have a moment of your time for just a moment?
How should I help you, sir?
I need a theme song.
Hi, Gina. Now I want you to dance.
Okay, we're gonna see Hygiena dance. It's a beautiful day in the Pershing Square. Got the sun in the sky, got the clouds in the air.
When you got trouble, he's a diffuser. When you're in trouble, all you got to do is call the diffuser.
I'm Hygiena, and I'm here to say I hope you all have a very clean day. Jazz hands.
Okay, Evil Stan, let's never do that again. Just keep them busy for a little while I prepare phase 2 of my evil plan.
Hygiena, go to that man and get him to give you a sip of his water.
Hi, can I please have a sip of your water? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, sip and then I'll see what else I can do here. I don't normally drink other people's waters, but because it was Stan, I did. It was gross.
Wash yourself with it.
I'm gonna wash my hands a little bit. Oh,
Parthenon, talk to that person on the phone.
All right. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I talk to that person real quick on your phone? Really quick. I'm Parthenon, a superhero. 1 second. I just want to say hi. Can I talk to him from here, maybe? Can you just go like that with the phone? I'm sure he can hear you. Hi, what's his name? Hi, Tony. It's Parthenon.
Tell that man that you have a superhero wedgie.
I need some advice on something. If I had a super wedgie, how do you think I should proceed to help me out with that? I mean, look at this. This spandex is quite binding. And if I get something riding up too high, how would I solve that problem?
Dude, you gotta pull it out.
You gotta pull it out.
A lot of the requests didn't seem very heroish. I have my own hypothesis that it might not have been Mr. Lee that gave us those commands, but perhaps Dr. Dark. It kind of took my breath away for a minute because based on what I've seen so far in my perceptions, everyone seems to be a suspect.
Hygiena, stop traffic.
When I would get the messages from Stan on my communicator, I trust him. And I was following his directions.
okay. I'll try to stop traffic.
Thank you, Hygiena.
It wasn't until after that I thought, these were very strange requests, and I started to kind of not feel easy with what we did.
Parthenon, help that little girl cross the street.
All right. Hello, little girl. What's your name? Is it Genesis? Nice.
Now, take the cane and do a jig.
Can I borrow your cane for just 1 second? I'll be right back.
Dance. Put the cane on the trash can and walk away.
You got it.
Mission accomplished, Evil Stan. Phase 2 of my master plan is now ready. Bring them to me.
Superheroes, form up. Superheroes, report to the warehouse on Natsliv Avenue immediately.
You got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
This looks like the place, you guys.
Think so.
Ladies first.
All right, superheroes. I've managed to trace the pencil that Dr. Dark stole from me to this shipping container. Search it immediately.
No problem.
Okay. I found the pencil!
Oh my, awesome.
Yeah, I was really happy because that was on everybody's mind.
Oh, no!
Guys, we're locked in.
Tricky. That's tricky.
Fools! You fell right into my trap.
Yeah, looks that way.
Well, now I'd like to introduce you to someone you've been interacting with all day long. Super Zeros, meet Evil Stan.
Evil Stan!
You gullible guppies have been following the odd orders of my precious Evil Stan all day. I used the DNA from Real Stan's very own pencil, and I diverted the power from all of the cities to create my very own evil Stan Lee. Wave to your caped captives. And by the way, I'll be shipping this crate to the depths of darkness and despair in just 1 hour. It's been nice knowing you, Super Zeros.
I don't want to die.
What are we gonna do now?
I don't know. Anyone have any ideas?
Let me think real quick.
I knew there had to be a way to escape.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Let's gather it all in the center and see what we got.
Okay.
There just has to be a way to escape.
Hey guys, right outside here are some more tools.
Let's look at them. What's out there?
Y'all check out the tools. See what we got.
Screwdriver, a wrench, a saw, and a glove.
Okay.
Well, let's get them in here by putting these together.
Yeah, I think we
So,
can make
well,
it
let's see what's
one
holding
big
this door
long
together, huh?
pipe, right?
It looks like there's nails holding the door together.
It's
so we
really-
can get those nails out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured a crowbar would be a good way to help pull out some nails that were holding the door shut.
It's getting warm in here.
Yep, it is getting a little warm. I think this piece will be what we can get it with. This thing's gonna be key for it too.
It is sometimes in my nature to jump in and take charge,
Parthenon, check it out. So you see the crowbar? You see the hole?
and this was definitely a situation where I was not needed.
Ignore him.
Tap it down.
The thing we have to do is make sure that this is strong enough to
Yes.
actually not fall apart. Because if it
Yeah,
falls apart out
exactly.
there, we're done for. Can you get this pipe out there?
Yeah, we're gonna need extra length.
Do you need help? That's exactly what I was gonna do.
We good? We good? We good?
I think it's gonna be about as tight as we can get it.
Guys, you think
Okay.
we're gonna use this thing? Yeah, perfect.
Hang on. Strip it. Check the joints one more time.
All right, diffuser, I'll direct you if you can't see.
Okay. All right, guide me through.
All right. Let me get this thing through.
You got it?
All right, here we go.
All right, I got. I'm gonna leave this.
Oh, no! We're stuck in here.
Dun dun dun! We're stuck in there. We were indeed. Hi, Gina. All right, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, you know what? I gotta unmute. Oh, there you go. All right, perfect. Welcome back. Everybody is correct because you know what? It is the escape room old style school. See,
Yes.
we were cool before it was cool.
Yes.
I know.
Oh, that room. Yeah.
All right.
That room.
Where should we start? Let's start.
Oh.
Let's
I
start
don't
with
know.
school.
Yeah,
School.
we don't want to talk about the escape room first because we
Correct.
haven't shown how we resolve
Yes.
it.
Right.
That is correct. I like
Right.
it. Let's talk about school first, then we'll talk about the square, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Okay. Okay.
I like it. Although somebody's already guessing, is it Diffuse or Smash again? Maybe. You never know. Although, can I tell you, we actually tried that. You guys remember that? We're like, can we use our superpowers again? Because we got to use them during the school. So, it's like,
Yes.
do you remember trying that? I felt like an idiot, but it was fun.
Yes.
All right. School stuff. Where do you want to start? Anybody want to start?
I think the school stuff was like I was really trying to think like what are they trying to trick us up on here? You know, like now that it was getting down there, I was like, okay, so if I don't let the kids do it, am I going to get dinged? If I do it too slow, am I going to get dinged? So it was like one of those I had to pick, you know, which way to go. And I was like, well, I'm just going to let the kids do it, and it's going to be slow.
Well, I kind of knew walking into that my nature is to just jump in and do it. So I thought I need to do the opposite.
Right.
So soon as I realized kind of what the challenge was, I figured, teamwork and letting the kids take the lead, even if I did that too far.
Yeah.
That was how I was going to play it, was let the kids do it. And I'm just going to shut up and try to steer a little bit.
Yeah, editing plays such a part in this whole thing because it drives me crazy because I always get, Dan, why were you such a bully with those kids? And why weren't you nice? And everybody else introduced themselves. And I was like, no, I did, and they just never showed it.
We had a whole introduction.
I know. We got to talk to her for like 5 to 10 minutes about us and about our stuff, and like we got to meet our people. Like I wrote down all these notes about my kids. Like I went around and asked what they were good at. They were good at math and science, which I was like, great, me too, and this is going to be good. And then like they said one thing, and how about I answer the questions? If you look at it, the audio was so bad because it doesn't make sense that I would say that. And then the way they edited it makes it look like I'm just like, no, you kids are wrong. Let's do this. And I was like,
they take one thing you said here, switch it around over here to where it's completely out of context, but answers another question.
Yep,
incorrectly.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just funny because literally I actually have these notes about the time at the school, because what I did was I asked all the people the question, and then we raised our hands and voted on the answer. So literally I would ask the question, everybody would raise their hands for the answers, and then we'd go through the answer together, and then we'd be like, good. And the kids got the wrong answer once, which is I was like, did the math, and I was like, that's not right, because this plus this plus this is this. So what do you think about that? And then they're like, oh, and then they answered it together, but you never see any of it. So people are always like, Dan, you suck at kids. And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
No, but
Whatever.
you're a teacher. You know what I mean?
You want to know the crap out of me, and I'm like,
So that was not right.
They again, it's all about the producer's narrative.
Absolutely.
And what did they want to do today, and who do they want to look good? Who do they want to look bad?
Yep. It was funny, but like literally the guy, the instructor, Mr. Marito, because I wrote down his name too, he was supposed to be in charge of everything, but he literally didn't say anything to us. So it was kind of like a nutty, weird thing that he just stood in the corner for.
I think he was like, okay, like they set it up with that class and he just stood back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But do you guys have any fun moments from it? Because a couple people wanted to know, did the kids have any funny comments or questions?
I think they were just kind of like, what is going on? Like,
The only thing I remember is a little boy on my team liked a little girl on Hyperstrike's team and wanted to know if he could switch teams.
Cute. Yeah.
And he goes,
Adorbs.
we usually sit together at lunch.
Aww.
Yeah.
Come on.
I said, I don't know, we can ask. And
Yeah. They were good sports, you know.
yeah, the kids were great. They were fun.
great. And like we finished up really fast. So it was true that I finished up quickly and then we went up to the board. And then we were trying to talk because we were talking amongst ourselves, which is why I taught them the hero bump, because we used to always do it like the hero bump kind of thing. So I taught them that. We sat there and chatted for like the good times. We tried to help you guys because I was like, let's help other teams that are maybe struggling. And then I thought that was going to be such a good thing. And it was just like, it came across so like annoying. And I was like, whatever.
Welcome to my world.
Right, exactly. But somebody did notice that, hey, we actually got special effects, and they finally stopped using our lightning. So that was fun. Do you guys have any kind of remember anything about the special effects?
Yes.
They asked, I remember them asking me what type of effect would you think your super powers look like? And I said, well, the easiest is my taser gloves. I could throw a lightning bolt at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, we can do that.
Yep. Hi, Gina, how about you?
Yes, it was a feather duster. Like, what would it shoot? You know, like what would be coming out of it? Yeah. I always think of the, you know, in Cinderella, there's the they're making a cake and all of those sparkles start going everywhere.
Love it. Fairy dust. Come on.
Exactly. I love it. What's funny is the Sonic Blast was actually not my choice, because what I did was I was showing off my super strength and I was balancing one of their chairs on my hand. And then I was like, ta-da, super strength. And then they're like, no, we want to do something visual. And I was like, balancing a chair in my hand isn't visual? And I'm like, come on. And so
Yeah, they wanted like a boom or a, yeah.
Yeah. But also, Hyperstrike did it too.
Yeah. Yes.
Because Hyperstrike actually put a chair on top of a table and did a handstand on top of a chair.
Yes.
Which I will talk about that later because I have thoughts on this as well. But I was like, I can't believe they didn't show any of that kind of stuff. But he's always so funny because he's always so hyperactive, no pun intended. But like he just will do somersaults every, like anytime.
Yeah.
You know what I
All
mean?
the time.
know.
Randomly standing, waiting for food. He'll just do a flip-flop.
I loved it. That was always my favorite thing about him. Yes, exactly. That's why we were trying to figure out like what we could do. And do you remember the day we took apart the bedroom set and I was balancing the whole entire headboard on my hand and I was like, ta-da! And I was like, that's my only secret skill.
All I can do is break stuff, apparently. So.
At least it's consistent, so it's nice.
Right.
I know, I like it. All right, so we did that. We have a couple other questions, but I'm going to wait to answer some of the other questions about that challenge later because they kind of come back into play. What about the square, the park, and stuff like that? So a couple people had some quick questions about the park. Wait a minute, let me scoot on back. Oh, first of all, James wants to know how he missed the camera globe.
I think we knew it was there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We saw the thing, but I'm going to say my answer is this.
Right. I mean, it also, you know, the cities have cameras set up. This is the middle of Los Angeles.
That one was totally like not what that was. And I was like, whatever. All right. So then Lynn wanted to know, is that the park, the same park from the first challenge of season 1 where they're running around? So I was like, I don't know. And you know who actually knew was Feedback because he was there.
Yeah.
So he said it was the same park. But what's funny is I actually wrote down the name of the park because I knew that one. And it was, when you screamed it as well, Parish Square. Perishing Square.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I actually remembered from it. But I didn't really recognize it from the actual first season. So I thought that was kind of a neat little thing. So it's nice. Anyway, thoughts about the Evil Stan Challenge?
Oh, now looking at it, it's like, why did we do all that stuff? What were we doing? Like, I know hindsight's 2020, but really, I mean, we should have put our heads together from that get-go. And just,
we couldn't because we were separated.
No, I know we were separated. Well, okay, like we should have come to that idea. I should have, you know, as soon as we were going up to strangers, I should have. I don't know why. Looking at it now, it's pretty obvious, but back then, I think we were just kind of being told, go do this, go do that. And we felt like.
See, this is not. I hate this part of this challenge because it drives me insane. Because they cut out the part of me arguing with them about why I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Because literally, we did the first thing and I'm like, why are we doing this? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this makes no sense. And they're like, well, you have to do it. And I'm like, right. But I'm like, time out for a minute.
Exactly.
Do I have to do it or can I fight against this? And they're like, no, you have to do it. And I was like, okay. And the part that they didn't show is we undid everything that we did.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we literally went back and gave everybody back the
Because we
cane.
thought that was the test. We
I
thought
thought
that
it
was
right.
Yeah.
But they
And
kept
so
trying they kept
when
trying
I
to get
got
us
the-
not to do it. But then I would be like, no, I'm doing this. So I took the cane back and I thought they were going to film it. Like, shenanigan. What'd you say, Caesar?
After I got the first hat, I thought maybe the hat was going to be some part of a communication, device. And then they said, you need to go take this. It's not filmed. You need to take this man's wallet or something like that. And I said, okay, hold up. I said, before I start taking the stranger's wallet, I said, this could end up in a fight or something.
Yeah.
So you need to tell me if this is real world or if this is superhero world. And that guy that I take a wallet from knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how I'm going to react if he reacts a certain way. And that's going to be on y'all. I said, so don't ding us on the block if I play along. So you need to look me in the face and tell me, play along. And they did. They go, diffuser, play along.
They said the same thing to me, and I was like, okay. But then when you watch it back, you're like, editing.
Oh, they made us look like freaking idiots.
Right. Which is people actually have questions about it. Like, Lynn wants to know how many people that we approached were plants.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I actually do
And
know.
we approached a lot more people than you see on the show.
Yeah.
We did a lot. I sat on a cannon. There's like a cannon or something out there. And I had to try. They wanted me to stand on the cannon. And I get on the cannon and the cannon starts to tilt. They're like, cut, diffuser, get down. You're breaking shit again.
It's, like I had to steal somebody's earrings, but steal. Like I asked her if I could borrow them. She's like, sure. And she's like, wait, are you going to wear them? And I was like, no, I'm going to put them on my belt as accessories. She's like, okay, that's cool. Just bring them back to me whenever. And I was like, yay. And everybody, like, I kept asking people to do things. And I was like, ugh.
I was just telling Deanna, I said, people in LA must just be so used to this weird shit.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
if you
telling
pull
you.
some of this in Texas.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
But also we're running around in superhero spandex with
with
cameras and stuff like that. Like, so there's an air of this is being filmed.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that's the part that they're used to. Is
Yeah.
that
Sure.
so many things are filmed there that they look at the camera and they're like, okay, I have a choice here. I can either be that guy or I can just play along, you know.
That's why I don't think any of them were plants, because literally people were just walking by.
It wasn't like a bee sting situation where it was an actor and you know, like you, because you kind of start to figure out who the actors
Like, I love
were.
the guy who made my diffuser. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he was.
I
He
know.
was on it.
He was great.
I
Yeah.
was like, what? Hearing
He
that
was
back,
spot
I was
on.
just like, all right. But also, somebody really likes the musical stylings of Hygiena and her scrubbing.
Yes. Somebody was asking who made up that song.
Yeah.
And I just did on the spot. And I got royalties for it from yes. I had to because it's a song on TV.
You had to
so
sign for
yes,
it.
I had to sign for it, and there was I got royalty checks. They're like 52 cents.
Yeah.
But I got
Still.
yeah.
Nicely done. And there you go. There's the person that thought you got a cool song out of it. And I
That
was
was
jealous.
I know. It was
I
a
know.
good song. Yeah.
I know. I actually think I have in my notes that I had to approach the keyboard guy too, and I think he just said no.
Oh.
Right. Talk to the guy with the keyboard and make up a theme song. And the guy's like, no. And I was like, all right. So I just walked away. I was like, whatever. But it makes it more entertaining that way. All right. My favorite, by the way, was Diffuser's Super Wedgie.
Oh yeah. I
And
know.
Sometimes
I know.
you got to get in there.
Yeah.
You just got to pull it out.
Yeah.
Just got to pull it out.
Yeah.
I love it when the guy said it. He's like, there's the answer. That's what it is. You just got to pull it out. Ting. All right. Nice. All right. We talked about that. I think we answered everybody's questions. I think we're ready for part 2 of episode 6. Are you guys
All right.
ready?
I'm ready.
Boom. I think it is going to be fun. All right. I got to stop sharing that screen. Start sharing this screen, making sure I turn on the. Nope.
The
that's
box.
part 1. Yeah. I got to put on the audio. The escape room before it was a thing. Here we go, everybody. Enjoy.
We're stuck in here.
I thought we had a really good plan. We made a really long pipe to try to drag the crowbar closer, which might help us escape. Are we sure this joint right here is okay?
It's as far as it can get.
All right.
Guide me through.
You got it?
All right, here we go. All right, I got. Let me leave this.
Oh,
The pipe actually broke. We thought we had a pretty easy solution, and then the pole snaps.
no. Can you reach it, Parthenon, with your arm?
There's no way.
No, that is pretty much lost down there.
All of us felt the exact same thing. Our hearts dropped.
It's getting warm in here.
Try to just kick it open.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I could really tell that the diffuser was getting frustrated. I think he just was ready to bust down those doors himself. It was a little scary because he's a big guy.
No, I don't think we should. Let's see if there's another thing we can find in here.
Not only were we trying to get out, but it was hot and things were getting smelly and dirty. And I remember Mr. Lee saying, I have to get over that. Don't let my cleanliness stop me from completing a mission. So I tried not to.
Let's get out of here.
All right, can we do anything with this one? And all right,
We can make like a rope, throw out the rope, and even if just the loop lands on the crowbar, we can pull it back.
The plan was to use the big pipe to move it.
We should just try every idea, no matter how bizarre it sounds.
Yes, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's hook all of our belts and possible things together to make as long as possible.
And then throw it out.
Yep. Let me tie this to probably this. Oh yeah, my scarf. What am I missing?
Scarf.
Oh yeah. Scarf. Okay, good. What if we set it down like a loop? Then pull up the loop, and it actually will raise up enough for me to grab it.
I had a plan already.
Parthenon had a lot of really good ideas, but unfortunately, he's sometimes a little bit pushy.
Be careful. Don't drop it.
I think the scarf is underneath the pipe, which is fantastic.
Okay. You're gonna have to lift slow. Slow and steady.
Nice, it's lifting, it's lifting.
Good.
Good. You got it.
Grab it.
Oh my god, I have it.
Good job. Oh my God, you guys.
All right, here we go. I think tempers were kind of on the verge of going ballistic, but we got the pole back up.
Oh, beautiful.
It was all looking and feeling pretty great at that point.
I think Hyperstrike actually had a very good idea to make that get closer to us.
Okay.
So if we take that thing that we had,
Yeah.
loosen one side of it again, I think Hyperstrike actually probably could loop it. You want to try it? Good.
That is just a nylon string, so don't go yanking too hard.
I think we'll be okay. Diffuser, do you not agree? You want to change it?
I still think it's too heavy.
Great. Slowly, you're right on it. Slowly pull back. That's it. Keep pulling your snag on the curved end. Yeah, right there. I think that's close enough.
Okay, who wants to try to fish it?
Let Hyperstrike try.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right. If you snag that one part, I think we can get it. Is it close enough for you to use that pipe? Okay.
You want to bring it in closer?
I think this is pretty good.
What's going on?
There you go.
Yeah.
Bingo. Now lift. There you go. Slow. I want this bag to weight it down.
Yeah, because that's why it's.
Tell me what it's looking like over there as I pull on the bag.
I can't see it.
Here we go. We got it. Oh, careful. I'm trying.
Okay, now be still. Let me try to lift the bag off of it.
Okay.
You keep it.
Oh, you're bending the pipe. See that?
Wait.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Pull it up.
All right, get ready.
Just hold it straight up.
Oh, jeez, crow.
Martha.
Careful, move slow.
I got it.
All right. Get our stuff in.
I feel good about my performance in the mission. Honestly, it was really, really awesome, and I feel like I had some good ideas. And yeah, it went real well.
I'll get the first nail.
It was a great moment. It was hot in there. Walls were getting a little thick for me, but we finally did it.
All right. I think it's already pretty good kick though. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Awesome.
Put that Excelsior.
Excelsior!
All right, superheroes, it's time for mission reports.
We do have a question whether you're Stan or Evil Stan, though.
I'm the real Stanley.
Good.
We were wondering.
And yes, I have learned of Dr. Dark's devilishly good-looking creation, Evil Stan. More on that later, but now it's time for mission reports. Remember, as I told you before, it's only through an honest appraisal of your efforts that we learn and grow. Here are your mission report computers.
Yes, sir.
I think friends can honestly critique one another, and the critique doesn't get lost in bitter feelings.
Oh, that was an intense. I am exhausted.
You
from
didn't
it.
really start to show it until it got hot.
Yeah.
When it got hot, I noticed you
Did you see
looking
me
up.
kind of
I saw you
glaring?
kind of
Yeah.
glazing over a
Yeah.
little bit and looking
I
around.
apologize for that. It was like life and death. I really wish I could have turned that off and been more like, but it was starting to get me like, started to feel
You did fine.
a little bit like that.
You did absolutely fine.
Heroes, here are your mission report results. Please take this feedback to heart. Hygiena could have been more involved.
I was kind of surprised that the boys felt I could have been more involved.
I could have been more involved with the construction. You guys are very strong. You're very opinionated. You're very animated about
We
your
were agitated
opinions.
too, I think,
Yeah,
both of
and
us,
the
so sorry if
testosterone
we
is
were-
high, and it's really hard to slide in there. And
Sure.
so I just was kind of like, I'll clean up.
Although I had found the pencil and I was trying to be as helpful as I could, I didn't really have the mechanical skills. So I stepped aside to let the people who did take the lead.
The diffuser shouldn't have dropped the pole.
I shouldn't have dropped the pole. I didn't drop it. It broke.
No, I think it's the first time
I
when
didn't
it
drop
broke
it.
out of
I
the
held
thing.
on to my end. It broke.
It's physically snapped, or it just came out of the
Came out of the thing.
Right. I put that. I was disappointed that it did break because I made such kind of a big thing about we can't break it, and so
right.
That's what I put about you because you were holding it at the time.
Parthenon was pushy in getting his point across.
I mentioned that you can be kind of pushy sometimes.
It can overshadow. I know it feels like it overshadows me sometimes. Like, I got this theory and it's right.
The one critique that I got was that I can be a little bit pushy, and I've actually been told that before.
So even though you might be totally right, there's a moment to step back and say, well, I might be wrong too.
Yeah.
Superheroes?
Yes, sir.
It's time. Meet me upstairs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I feel kind of safe tonight because I think I rocked out a little bit on the last couple missions. I feel confident going into this one.
Here we go, guys.
If anyone is safe, it's probably going to be Parthenon. He showed incredible leadership in this mission.
If I had to guess who was going home tonight, I kind of guess it would be Hygiena. At the school, she had the slowest time in the box. She kind of hung to the back and was just more supportive that way.
It's been an incredible learning experience, and I hope that I don't go home tonight. I hope that I stay.
If Stan were to call me up in the elimination blocks tonight, I would not go down without a fight. If he then did choose me to go home, I would probably cry.
Final 4 is awesome, but Final 3, that's like League of Champions. If I make it to 3, I will be extremely pleased.
I'm nervous about being critiqued by Stan Lee. Sometimes it's kind of hard to face your own failings.
Wow, I am in pretty strong company. Is what I have what Mr. Lee is looking for?
Hello again, true believers.
Hello,
Stan.
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Well, we finally learned Dr. Dark's master plan.
Indeed, we did. Yes, we did.
He created an evil version of me. That clone fooled you into performing random acts of villainy. A superhero must always trust his or her instincts to do what's right, not blindly follow orders. In the park, Hygiena, did you think becoming a traffic menace was the right thing to do? And Parthenon, taking a cane from a mother?
Can I borrow your cane for just 1 second? I'll be right back.
You'd left it on a trash can. I can't call that very heroic. The diffuser. Maybe a little decorum?
I had a super wedgie. How do you think I should proceed to help me out with that?
What did you need help with?
Super wedgie.
Yeah, a wedgie? And while you learned about cracking codes with real students, I learned about you as you interacted with the children. Some of you did better than others. Parthenon.
Yes, sir.
You used your ingenuity in the crate.
Thank you, sir.
But during the code cracking, you didn't let those kids participate fully.
A compass needle is... How about a magnetized piece of iron?
And because of that, you bonded with them the least.
How many students like Parthenon the most? If you do, raise your hand. Oh, 0 students prefer Parthenon.
One of a superhero's most important qualities is to be a role model for kids, and you failed at this. And Diffuser.
Yes, sir.
I've asked you for weeks to be less bossy. But in Dr. Dark's crate, you went too far the other way.
Let's see if there's another thing we can find in here.
That's a really good call.
Whatever y'all think.
That's what I would say.
You seem to rely on others too much.
I just felt that was my place during that mission.
I see. Hi, Gina.
Yes, sir.
You recovered my historic pencil. Good investigative skills. Well done. On the other hand, I told you before, I need you to step up your overall performance and leadership. But once again, with those school kids, you lag far behind.
Hey, Gina, do you need any help over there?
No, we got it. We're on the last question.
Hyperstrike.
Yes, sir.
I can now tell you that you are the most beloved by Mr. Morita's class.
How many of you like Hyperstrike the most? Raise your hand, please. That's almost half the class.
It means a lot to me.
On the other hand, you also put those kids at risk. You told them your real name.
My last name in real life is Stork, just like the bird.
And that concerns me greatly. A superhero never reveals his or her secret identity.
I'm so sorry.
Well, it's now time to have three of you step forward. Hi, Gina. Parthenon. Hyperstrike.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Gina. Tell me why you should continue on this journey to becoming a superhero.
If you give me another chance, sir, I will prevail and I will overcome some of my wrongdoings and I will learn. And plus, who will clean up the house? I can do it. I can be your superhero.
Thank you, Gina. Parthenon.
Mr. Lee, the reason I feel like I should stay in the lair is I want this. And I wanted to come on the show to prove that I was not only a hero, but a superhero.
Are you saying that you want this more than any of the others do?
I feel like I want it more than the others do, but differently. I think each one of us has their own reason for being here, and mine is to be the next superhero, and I feel like I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hyperstrike.
I have dedicated my whole life to awesome stuff like superheroes. I loved superheroes growing up. They're a big part of who I am. I know I have the potential to inspire people, and I know if you keep me in the lair and let me be the next great superhero, I can inspire thousands.
You seem to want it as much as Parthenon.
Sir, you have no idea.
Hi, Gina. On the one hand, while your time suffered cracking the code, you acted heroically by involving your students in the challenge. You took their feelings into account despite the impact on your own performance.
What do you guys think for that one? You think it's get a battery, a wire, and an iron rod?
On the other hand, in Dr. Dark's crate, once again, you weren't really a leader, were you?
No, sir, I could have taken more of a leadership role in both areas. I understand that now.
A superhero is a leader.
Yes, sir.
Parthenon.
Yes, sir.
Your problem solving shined in Dr. Dark's trap.
What if we use this thing to move the pipe, and then shove the pipe on top of that, and then it'll be able to lift it?
But what greatly concerns me is with Mr. Morita's students, you didn't make them feel an integral part of the task.
That actually concerns me as well. I have many nephews and nieces, and I feel like I bond well with children, so that's very surprising to me.
Parthenon, you should know by now that I'm always testing the human qualities of being a hero. Hyperstrike.
Yes, sir.
Your creativity soared these last few days.
Thank you so much, sir.
You were a leader as the superheroes figured their way out of Dr. Dark's crate.
We can make like a rope, throw out the rope, and even if just the loop lands on the crowbar, we can pull it back.
On the other hand, a superhero never puts others at risk by revealing his or her secret identity. And now we come to my least favorite part of this life-changing journey. Hygiena,
Yes, sir.
Hyperstrike,
Yes, sir.
Parthenon.
Yes, sir.
The person leaving the lair tonight is Hygiena, Hyperstrike, Parthenon. The person leaving the lair tonight is Parthenon. Parthenon, believe me when I tell you, at this point in the competition, there are no easy decisions. Everyone here has performed nobly.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry to say, though, that with the children, you failed my primary task, displaying the heart of a hero.
I'm actually surprised they didn't take to me, quite honestly. But if you feel that way, I accept it, Mr. Lee.
I feel very sad to see you go.
That makes two of us, sir.
You brought wit and wisdom to this really grueling process. You performed nobly.
Thank you, sir.
Turn in your costume.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Parthenon, it was definitely elimination worthy. That's what it comes down to in the end. Are the kids going to be inspired by you? And I think that's who we're working to teach.
All right, knock 'em dead, you guys. I'm sad that Stan picked me to go home. The falter that I made has been the children's challenge, and that was the reason I got sent home. Walking away from here, I have no regrets. And forever, I will be Parthenon, and bling will be my thing. Excelsior.
Superheroes, tomorrow, our adventure continues.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
We're ready.
I need you to regroup, come back strong.
We'll be ready, sir.
We'll be ready.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Look at my masterpiece! Those superheroes are doomed now! Grow, my precious! Grow!
Dun, dun. All right. And we're back.
No,
well, that was a hard episode.
Oh.
That was so sad. I mean, I was floored.
We were
was
shocked.
too.
Yeah.
I know. It's all good. It was one of those things, like, it caught me off guard more than anything else. And the only one reason, and like one and only reason that I thought I was completely and totally safe is Hyperstrike.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
No. Yeah.
I was floored because like season 1, somebody totally got voted off for giving me their secret identity, and I didn't know he did it. And then I found out later, and I was like, oh, he is totally going home for that. And I was like, shenanigans. Well, see, actually, somebody brought this up before, and I couldn't show it yet. But please talk about this at the break of how you're getting dinged for this when Hyperstrike gave out a secret identity. It really confuses me, and I have no idea.
Yeah. And I do want to say too, I know some of the audience posted that Stan must have been drunk. Keep in mind a little backstage magic.
Yeah.
Stan has an earpiece in his ear while we're filming.
Totally.
And he's being told a lot of stuff by the producers and the show director of what to say, what questions to ask.
Yep.
Because there was a lot of Stan in it.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff, I guarantee you, if it came from left field, it was from a producer talking to his ear.
Yeah, or like a little teleprompter or something, because like a lot of the stuff was just kind of like, what? Like, I know. People said like I looked confused and pissed. That was one of the comments in there, and I was like, I was.
Yes, we all.
For me, like from my perspective of it, and this is just a Dan thing, you know what I mean? Just me, like. I thought I won the first challenge with the kids because we finished first. I didn't know that they were going to slam us with like the whole voting thing. That was never a part of anything. And like somebody else asked me that after, and I was like, I would have voted for Hyperstrike because he did a freaking handstand and the backflip.
Right.
I would not vote for Hyperstrike. And I was like, of course. And so then I thought I won that one. I thought I called them out on the Evil Stand challenge. So then I thought I already had that done. I thought I was like one of the main people to help us get out of the box, which we have to talk about. And so, like, I thought I won all 3 challenges, and I had never been in the bottom before, and I was like, Ting, and you're out. And I was like, what? Like,
I know.
I think it made for really good drama.
Yeah, well, of course. And I was like, yeah.
You know, they wanted that. They wanted that. They weren't getting a whole lot of drama from us.
Yeah.
They tried.
They tried. So
should we talk about one of those things that they tried to do some drama?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Diffuser, because you were one of the main people that got disturbed at this.
Which part?
The box. And then, did you notice the weird editing where we were talking about it after the feedback, and you're like, "What part with the poll?" And I was like, "No, after the first time we did it."
Right.
And I was like,
you know, I honestly. I've told these stories so many times at conventions with Stan. I want to hear, Dan, your perspective of from the time we walked in the sidewalk, what do you remember happening?
Okay. So we got to the door, we got in the box, we got trapped, right? Hygina was quick to find the pencil. Where was that pencil, by the way?
It was in the back, but wasn't there like a little like ledge?
I thought it was. Like I thought it was like the platform with the floor, and then it had like a little weird gap back there.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, looking at it, where you knew we were going to get trapped in there.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
There's no way. Like we actually said that too. We're like, all right, we'll just get in. And
then
then
we walked in off the sidewalk.
You're correct.
They said we have to go in there.
Yep.
I stopped. And
I know you did. And then we said
that box.
Yep,
And
we said
everyone's like,
specifically.
"Why?"
Yep.
Huh?
We said specifically, we're going to leave you at the door, and you guard the door so we don't get locked in the box.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I forgot that.
So so we tried to have me stay outside, and they were like, "Cut."
Oh, I forgot that totally.
And then we filmed that entry like 3 times because we kept trying to figure out a way to leave one of us outside.
Yep.
And
the last
anyway,
part, I
go
kept
ahead,
my
keep
foot
going.
out there for a while, and they're just like, "Get your foot in." And I was like, "Fine." Yes. But we get in the box. We start like getting trapped in there, and I'm like, "Well, everybody gather your crap in the middle, and let's do this." And
Right.
we got out of the box in like 5 minutes.
Yes.
5 minutes. Because I was like, this pole goes to that pole goes to this, grab that thing. So we went out, we stuck the pole out there, we grabbed the crowbar, we brought it back in, and we're like, ding, and done.
Cut.
No, wait. We made it all the way back to the van.
Oh,
and then they came to the van, and they're like, so we have some news. And we're like, okay. And then they're like, we had a problem with the cameras, and none of that got filmed. And we're like, what? And then, wait, Chad right here says, you're all too smart for them. Yes. So save that the cameras broke, which we've later found out was not the case. We
Bullshit.
did it too fast. It was supposed to be more hard. And so they put us back in the box and they had us do the whole challenge again. Right. So Diffuser, ting, got super mad at this because he's like, how is this reality? Because this is ridiculous. Right?
Yeah.
And then
And
they
it was
made it.
hot in there
It
and
was.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
And then somebody else said, what? We have to designate a corner to pee in, which I thought was funny. That's one of the comments in the side, but yes. So then they also put the crowbar out of reach and they had a couple other things that they changed for a second take. So because we thought we could do the same thing and get the same result.
Yeah.
Right. So Diffuser got really pissed. And this is why he pulled back and he's like, all right, screw this. And just kind of was like, whatever. And he got dinged on it later, but it's not how he was the first time we did it. It was the second time we did it, but that's what they had
Right.
to use, of course.
And so,
yeah.
basically, I told them,
Yeah.
keep in mind, from the TV perspective, it looks like we're in this big box. There were 2 giant holes in this box with camera people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it was still hot as a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
We
was.
solved
Yeah.
that puzzle like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
at one point, while Parthenon was trying to reach out with the thing, I literally saw the camera guy kick the crowbar
Yeah.
further out away from him. And, I'm like, and I just stopped. I said, this is
Yeah.
bullshit.
You're not
If the
giving it a fair
objective-
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the objective is to get out of this box, I
Yeah.
can kick this fucking door down right now.
Yeah,
See-
he said that.
Somebody else said that as a comment. They're like, why didn't Diffuser just break the door? And I was like, exactly.
I said, 'cause I can get out of this box. This is plywood. I said,
Yeah.
I'll chew my way out if
And
I
then
have
you
to.
could tell their wheels were like,
Yeah,
like,
what are we going to do here? Because this is not what we thought this was going to be. And I was like, no,
And
it's not.
we were like there like 3 hours. It was like 110
3 hours.
degrees in there.
Because
I
Gina was about to pass out.
I really was. I really was.
I know you were.
I
It
know.
was crazy.
Getting like,
It's- That's why by the end of it, like you see me going like, all right, you guys, just stay calm. We're going to get through this. Because I was the other one that, like, we have to get out of this box somehow. And like everybody else was super over it, which
Yeah.
like that's really it. Because like we finished it in 5 minutes and then it took us, they had to reset it and they had to do it. It probably took us, I want to say, help me here, like 45 minutes to get back out of it
About
again.
45 minutes once we actually restarted again.
Correct. Yeah.
You know.
So it was just crazy. Like the thing is that I think would be funny is later they told me how we were supposed to get out of the box. Do you guys remember?
Yes.
Vaguely.
We were, yeah. So at the ceiling in the joint,
There
one of
was
the, yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You were supposed to go at the joint, right?
No, you were supposed to. So at the joint, there was a piece of wood that went across the corner. We were supposed to pull it. It was really long, and we could have put a nail in the end of it, and that's how they wanted us to get out. And I was like, why give us all the extra crap
What?
in there?
Yeah.
And then
They
we
gave
ended up,
us enough to get out. They just didn't think y'all would come up with it that fast.
right. And then eventually it took us taking off all of our like accessories and clothing items and putting it all together so I could get that pipe back, which was ridiculous. And I was
Which
like,
I thought was brilliant. All of this, like, I was frustrated, but it was also really fun to be a part of it.
I loved it. Do you remember all of Hyperstrike's? Because that
Yes.
thing was my grenade sack. And Hyperstrike kept saying, get Diffuser's ball,
ball
sack. Get Diffuser's ball sack.
yep. Diffuser was always like so mad about it, but like his ideas were weird. And like I actually wrote in my notes that I'm like, oh, where was it? It was like Hyperstrike had a semi idea, and then literally they're like, they said I was too bossy. But if you watch like when we're trapped in the box, I'm like, what do you guys think about this? Do you have an idea? Do you have an idea? What about that? Okay, let's try this. All right, we all agreed on this. Okay, we're all agreed on this, and then we do it. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, what?
And also, I want the audience to recognize when we were doing those mission report things,
Yeah.
they told us we had to come up with something negative. They
Yeah.
wouldn't let us break
Slide.
the heat
Yeah.
until we wrote something somewhat negative or critical of someone else. So it was really hard to come up with a gentle way to come up because nobody really screwed up.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were all frustrated by that. Like, frustrated.
Yeah.
We couldn't say what really happened.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you kind of had like something. And then I was like, all right, Diffuser dropped the pole. And then you're like, what? And I was like, the second time we did it, but then like it snapped. And I was like,
right.
Which time did he drop the pole?
right. And I'm like, what? I like this. This person said the mighty and powerful Diffuser ball sack. Yeah. There you go. Exactly. So, do you guys remember the part that they actually cut out of the TV show after we got out of the box? This is my favorite part, and I'm mad because somebody that I wanted to comment on it just signed off on the comments, but he said goodbye. Do you guys remember it?
No. Well, did we get interviewed by feedback?
Sort of. So,
Yeah,
we got out of the box, but we didn't get out of the building because there was a gate, and the gate had 2 chains on it. There was one, which is a padlock, right? And then there was a chain at the top. So
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, we're playing with the padlock, and then I forgot who said it. I think it was Diffuser said, "Oh, we'll try." Nope, Hygiena said it's going to be 222 because of the twin thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." And so it snapped off. And then later, Diffuser said, "No, the code was 0000." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I just didn't think it made sense, so I said it was 222." I was like, so then my favorite part of this is there's another chain at the top, and it had a key. Okay,
Right.
so we went back in and we tried to find the key for it, and we couldn't find a key anywhere. So Diffuser, and I remember this plainly, he went down and he pulled the chain, and it snapped.
Oh yeah.
And I was dumbstruck because I was like, God damn it, how strong is Diffuser? Because I was like, did anybody see this? And then we found out later that they had preset it to break because feedback came and let us out and pulled it open, and then he saved us from it because he got the note that Evil Stan was messing with us. And I was like, I was waiting for the whole time when I was on the show, and I'm like, and I'm like, nope. And feedback lost his little cameo in our season 2. So I was like,
But he was there.
He was there.
He was there. Yeah. Because he's the one that actually opened the gate, which I was like, what?
It felt like that was a big mixed up one day. Like, I mean, everything had its challenges for real.
Production
And
was
also,
screwed on that.
yeah, it felt like that was a long mixed up day.
They kept trying to throw curveballs at us, and we kept knocking them off the park, and we're like, boom, boom. We're like, whatever. So that was one of my favorite parts from it. And it was just because my face for when Diffuser, I wish I had the tape because I had to be like, astounding to me. But I was like, what? All right. So the other thing that I thought was hilarious is when they're like, Parthenon, can he be pushy? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, totally got it.
Pretty much.
Totally my thing. But then I was trying to be like, hey, is everybody okay with this? And blah, blah, blah. But I get that I'm pushy all the time because I'm very opinionated, I'm going to say. And I always have ideas. And I'm not shy about telling people my ideas. So I'm just always like, blah. And I'm like,
but see, that's another example of editing.
Oh, yeah.
Is that was me that typed that. But what I typed was, while Parthenon can be pushy, he did a great job of building consensus during this challenge. So they just go, and just and took that one. And I'm like, and I'm like, I did type that, but there was more. Yeah.
It's always one of those things that's why I was like, yeah, totally a thing. Totally noted. Got it. All right, that's fine. Like one of the people in the comments said, wow, Parthenon did great about acknowledging his downfalls. And I'm like, yeah, totally a thing. Like, absolutely. That's about all of it, the comments and things like that. And my friends, by the way, are making fun of me. Opinionated. What? But yeah.
Well, so your exit.
Yes.
Dan, what did you do? Like you went off? Where did you go? What happened?
Okay, so what happened was I went downstairs and changed, and I came back up in that's my professor outfit, by the way, because I was taught in a suit and tie, and that was my name tag. People thought I was a concierge at a hotel or something. And I was like, nope, just my fanciness. So then I went back up and filmed the last part. We said goodbye, and then went downstairs, immediately was interviewed by Feedback. So that was kind of like our exit interview.
After show, yeah.
Yeah. So then we got to talk more about it. He's like, are you surprised I'm down here? And I'm like, I'm flabbergasted that I'm down here, but yes. After the interview, Feedback and I were talking off camera, and I said, because remember how Hyperstrike lost a jacket? He had lost a jacket for the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, he lost his jacket. And Feedback's like, I think I saw that jacket. So he ran back there and found his jacket. So I wrote you guys a note that said, hi from Parthenon, and I sent it back up to you guys. So he's good. And I put, yep, that guy's so cool, meaning Feedback.
Let me ask y'all this, because I don't remember what night it happened, but I know Parthenon was there. You know, we had no access to TV, magazine, books,
I wrote it down.
Nothing. we had a movie night.
We had 2 movie nights. Yep.
And because I brought a backpack full of DVDs in my laptop. And so we had a night where we were supposed to be doing something and something went wrong. So we were literally all day and all night sitting there with nothing to do. And we begged them. I said, look, I've got a backpack full of movies. Can we please watch movies? And one of the movies was one of my favorite movies. And I thought it was dead on. Mystery Men.
Yes. Okay, so that was actually way ahead of time. And I was the one who suggested it because I'm like, we need to watch Mystery Men because it is a thing. So I actually wrote down the 2 movie nights that we did. So Mystery Men was one. And then after we had the Evil Stan thing, we watched Batman Begins.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they got us In-N-Out Burger because I was like, yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So the other one, we did watch Mystery Men, but that was way sooner because that, I think,
there was like 5 of us.
Yeah,
because 5 of us still there.
Yeah. I wrote it down, but I have to look for it. But yeah, that was my favorite thing was to watch Mystery Men, and it was because where we're sitting,
it was so spot on.
Oh
It was totally.
I am Pencilhead. I am son of Pencilhead. Yes, it's fabulous. But yeah.
So did you go, Dan? Did you stay in LA? What happened?
I did not actually. So this is the funny thing about it. So they eliminated me, and then I got driven to a Comfort Inn. And I literally flew out. And then I flew out. My plane was 5 hours later.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then this is the part that pisses me off. Oh, should I say it? I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. So they bought the plane ticket 12 hours before the elimination. And I was like,
mother.
What? Because they gave me the plane ticket so you can actually see when it was bought. And I was like, oh.
That's some bullshit.
So there is no way I could have saved myself, and they were waiting for me to say something stupid. And I was like, I got it. And then, yep. So
they
that
had to stretch.
Yeah, of course. But it is what it is. By the way, somebody said, "Oh no, no more behind the scenes notebook."
That's right. That's right.
It's gonna be all you guys in your memory. So go.
Right. I know. But so you went back to Florida.
I did. So I went back to Florida, and then they called me 4 days later, and they said, "Hey, do you want to come back for the finale?" And I went, "I'd love to come back for the finale." And they're like, "Great, fly back on your own time, and you can come to the finale." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Why did you guys just keep me there for 4 days?"
That's what I thought. I wondered if you were there in Los Angeles, just like where you guys stayed, the first night.
Yeah,
like that.
They were so cheap.
They were, unfortunately, because literally they sent me home, and I have friends in LA that I could have stayed with.
Yeah.
And then I could have just stayed, but then nope. And then they expected me to get a next day plane to come back and watch the finale. And I was like, what? Yeah, it was fun. So that's why I wasn't at the finale. Hint, and later in the thing. But yes.
Yeah. And so you went home, obviously.
I did.
And then what happened with your life?
Sure.
We all were waiting for the show to come out. There was months there that we were keeping quiet.
Yeah. So it was fun because we eventually were talking back and forth, and we couldn't really share that much information between the 4 of us and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Last people's, and we were like, whatever. But we eventually got to watch the season, and we started communicating more, so it was kind of fun after that. Yeah. So after the show, it was kind of fun. I'll pull up my little slideshow. So my favorite part, by the way, was this, when I got to meet Stan. It's literally one of my favorite pictures because I'm like, it's just iconically what I wanted from this. You know what I mean? But yes. So then I went on to do a lot more stuff. So I actually worked at a college, and they asked me to host a Orlando fashion show called Out of This World.
Okay.
So yeah, all the artwork behind it I made. I actually hosted it, and then I got to interview people from Project Runway. So these people are from Project Runway. So after that, now I own my own t-shirt business. So I make t-shirts called myshadyside.com. So we do gay shirts and funny quippy things and pop culture-y things and that kind of stuff. I taught a class on how to be super, which was fun.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Kind of more behind the scenes of hey, what it is to be on a reality TV show and stuff like that kind of stuff. So it was fun. It was a good time. Nowadays, I actually teach classes at conventions. So I go to comic book conventions and stuff like that. And so this is one of them that was at Dragon Con. Mm-hmm. And it was super cool because the room was absolutely packed. It was crazy crazy packed. And I'm on a lot of their panels for the adult cosplay stuff. So like how to do like the sexy side of cosplay. Because after I started doing the show, right, I made this, which was my first ever bathing suit that I ever made. And it is my costume suit as Parthenon as a Speedo. Because, you know, super gay. So I wore this to gay days. And then
Derek.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's around here somewhere. But yeah, so I made this one, and then it started me making my own Speedos off of that.
That's
so
right.
I made like Justice League Speedos and like Power Ranger stuff. And then I started making like better ones. So this is my Darkwing Duck and like all this kind of stuff. And then after that, I started doing custom harnesses. So like I make light up harnesses that change color, and it's like a company called Illuminati. So that one's kind of that. And then,
Yes, following all of the cons, amazing. Every time
Incredible
you
stuff.
come up, you bring it like 110%.
You're so extra.
Thank you.
You're my
compliment.
extra super.
Exactly. But it's fun because like I like to combine technology with like costuming, and not a lot of people have like the techie thing of like you build your own circuitry and have like a fashion knowledge where they can sew your own crap. So it's like fun.
Like have the bod to rock that too. You know.
Thank you. This was actually this year at Dragon Con. So we were Shazam and my partner was Pedro.
Amazing.
So we had light up things. Actually, this was made out of a flashlight, which was hilarious. Some of my other costumes. So now I'm mostly known as a cosplayer because I go to conventions at least 3 or 4 a year, except this year because you know
I know.
Right. So Sonic the Hedgehog with a giant ring, Cruella de Vil. Like I love
an
doing,
awesome one.
Thank you. I love doing gender swaps because I like the idea of messing with that kind of stuff.
That's
So,
beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
Catwoman.
Catwoman. And Megan says, meow, baby.
Yeah.
I like it. So that kind of stuff. And the rest of these are just kind of other cosplay stuff. So this is from Comic-Con, where I actually got called out in the Marvel panel.
Wow.
Nice.
The Marvel panel's going on, and they're like, time out. Are you Craven? And they're like, can you stand up for a minute? I was like, yay! And they're like, what a random character. You did good. This is me as Milo.
Yes.
From Atlantis.
Atlantis.
I had to shave my beard for that. Ugh. This is some of my other stuff because I like to do the adult side of cosplay.
Yeah.
So I'm making like weird costumey harnesses kind of stuff. So this is my idea of a stormtrooper. So instead of like wearing the mask, I just put a little eye patch on my face. Of course, glittery, sequins and all that kind of stuff. Another gender swap.
Love this one.
This was also Comic-Con. So this one was crazily well received because it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So I was like, yeah.
Amazing.
So it's fun. The Arrow. This is
Love that one.
My partner and I did Monsters, Inc. So this was fun because I made that canister and it lit up, and so it changed colors and stuff.
Oh.
And it was a pasta container. It started its life as a pasta container. So I was like, you need to be a scare canister. It'll be fun. Beast Boy, I'll flip through these quick. This is another one of my Power Rangers with my friend Jonathan as Rita.
Wow.
Drag queen, of course. This is when I shave. I look 4, so it's nice.
Wow.
Pocahontas.
Love it.
Yeah, this is some anime stuff with a floating book that smoked and lit up, so it was more fun.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Snow Queen from Snow White, Tweedles, Moana.
Cute.
It's fun. Naruto. This is Cloak and Dagger from Marvel.
Yeah.
So it had a light up dagger, and it actually was super bright. Like you can't really tell here, but it's that bright that it didn't really show up in cameras enough. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So kind of nutty. And then finally, this was my most recent one. So this was One Piece, where we kind of had a big group do that too. This is more fun. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. So that was a little bit of it. And a couple other people reminded me of some more stuff. So James says, hey, how about your Dr. Horrible sing-along blog? So yes.
Remember that.
I'm not only a superhero, I'm also a supervillain. Dun, dun, dun. But it's a fun thing. Because I was at Comic-Con, and this was right when Dr. Horrible came out. And so I went to the Con premiere of it, and weirdly, I was sitting in front of I got there really late, and so I was not in the back row. I was one from the back, right? Because it was the open seats. And so Neil Patrick Harris was there on stage with the whole cast of the Dr. Horrible, right?
Dr. Horrible, yeah.
So, did their little speech. They walked off. They sat in the back row right behind me. And it was adorable because he kept singing along with himself when we were watching the movie. And I was like, yeah! So there they announced that they were opening auditions for the Evil League of Evil. So I was like, yes. And it was kind of cool. So you had to make your own super villain to do it, and you had to write a song for it and that kind of weird stuff. And then it's funny because in Dr. Dark's like Secrets Revealed thing, his name for me was Fancy Pants, right?
Right.
So my hero in my League of Evil audition was Captain Fancy Pants, played by my friend Craig, and he got all of his powers from his fancy pants. And the whole idea of it was I made this defabricator ray where I made clothes unravel. So I wrote a whole song about it. I had a puppet. It was a thing. But yeah,
Wow.
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
And everybody, Ting, Neil Patrick Harris is so cute. Yes, he is. Everyone is a hero in their own way. This show is basically a thing of that. So it's kind of
Be
fun.
quiet, Nathan.
I know. But everybody likes Dr. Horrible, and it makes it fun.
I think after this on Sci-Fi, there was a few years later, there was a cosplay show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it. And I think it kind of was like this opening of a fandom, like, because Mark and I had been going to cons for some time before that. And there was like, you know, all of a sudden the Hollywood presence came into the Comic-Con in San Diego, which made it huge. But before that, when Mark was going, when he was a kid, it was just long boxes and that was it, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was this time, and our show fit into that time, where cosplay just blew open. Like it just, you know, exploded. And not just the Batman and Poison Ivy was at Comic-Con.
Right.
Now everybody's fandom became at Comic-Con, and every genre and every little niche, like, you know, comic book and every little niche fandom out there, people just started to dress up. And I felt like it was right at that time, and it pushed over that everybody dresses up at Comic-Cons.
Yep.
Not just the three, because it used to be we would see like the same four, you know what I mean? Like the DC or Marvel, and we'd see the same kind of people dressed up, and they had their own great costumes. But it made me happy to see that anybody could put on a costume on any of their fandoms and go, and it was kind of a neat time.
The weird thing is there was 2 actual shows. One was Heroes of Cosplay, which I might have seen someone do a little cameo in.
Yeah.
The 2 cameos.
I know, because you were a judge in one, right?
Right, that's right. Right.
Yep. And so the funny one is the other one was called Cosplay Melee, which I actually auditioned for, and I was supposed to be in season 2 and they canceled it.
Oh.
I know. And I was like, what? Because I came
You
up with
emailed me about that and said, "Who do you know? Who do you know?"
I know, because I was like, what? Because why are they not? Why? It got canceled, and I was so mad. Oh wait, so like, okay, Nick says Cosplay Melee was great, and so glad it got canceled. No, so not glad it got canceled. I'm sure he made it. I was gonna assume that's what he meant, because I know. But yeah, and the other one was here you go, Heroes of Cosplay. So it was very fun, and it was because I actually learned about it. I was at Dragon Con, and I heard about it, and then I actually found out about it, auditioned while I was in Dragon Con. Literally that night, I put everything together because I had my laptop, and I pushed it all together. I sent them a whole little custom piece. They called me back. I interviewed a couple different times, back and forth, and they canceled season 2. And I was like, because I love cosplay. Like, I always thought it was super fun, and like I kind of wanted to share with everybody. So I was very disappointed. You know what I mean? Then I was kind of like, whatever. But it was fun. One of the other things, actually, wait a minute. I will show you a very, very, very brief snippet of this. But this is the salvage in the Sinister Sock. So somebody posted it in the comments, so I could find the direct link for it. So very, very short.
I'm a time traveling inventor.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I hit mute. I think I didn't actually do the audio for it. Hold on one second. I'm going to redo it. And there we go. Nope. All right, there you go. Okay, so take 2. So this was...
I came to present day, but unfortunately, I'm stuck here.
So basically, Sinister Sock.
Will my
Yeah. So then I go into this thing, and I have a shrink ray.
This is audition tape for the ELE, the Evil League of Evil. I do so lovingly
recommendations. Actually,
Is that your living room?
It is. Yeah. So
Your string beam is a fun toy, but it did a little good against your nemesis.
okay. So this is my house, by the way. You remember how I said like, "Oh, your house is so themed"? Yeah, my whole house was a castle at one point. So now it's steampunk, but it's still because I like this whole aesthetic. Anyway, I won't watch you the rest of it, but this is like a little bit of the actual song itself, where we're building a weapon.
If this ray gun works.
Okay, so then I'm gonna skip ahead. It was a whole building sequence. Then eventually,
It's finally time to test my
Ready?
defabricator ray. Because it's now the time to test it.
that's my favorite part. Literally, the punch in the face is delightful on every level. And we literally film us on the top of a roof in downtown Orlando. That's Captain Fancy Pants, by the way.
I'm not sure I could have said that better myself.
All right, ready? Here's a super good sport about running around. Right, so we'll leave it there. Yeah. And he wasn't quite naked, but he was darn close. So, yeah. And
Good nerdy fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Craig said the punch because it was. It was the funnest thing to film, and the special effects, it literally still cracks me up. It's
I
like,
could make a GIF out of that punch. Just watch it over and over and over.
it's fun. I know. By the way, somebody wants to know, does Captain Fancy Plants fly, but only like a duck? So yes. So the other thing after the show is, did you guys know that I was actually on another show with Stan Lee?
No. Did I know that?
I don't know. Because
remember.
this is the
I
weird
had
thing
to have
about it.
known.
I don't think you did, because it was a weird thing. So I get this email, and I was like, of what they're casting for out there. So like, because I was like, am interested in like weird stuff, because I like anything inventing, and so like those kind of shows I'm always interested in.
Yeah.
So they literally put a call out for superheroes, supervillains, and nerdy people.
Okay.
And I was like, hi, I'm Dan. I'm a superhero, I'm a supervillain, and I am one of the nerdiest people you ever meet. So I messaged them back because I didn't quite know what it was for. And
Yeah.
so they sent a thing back to me, and they're like, oh, okay. So it was for Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did know about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, it was a weird episode, and I actually have a snippet of it that shows you a little bit of why. All right, you guys ready? So here is the episode that I was on, and it's about 3 minutes, so we'll be back after that.
I'm on TV. The trip to Napa. You got the car. Hey, Mr. La-di-da. It's a new kitchen. Wow. I'm going for door number 2. It's time for Let's Make a Deal. Now here's TV's big dealer, Wayne Brady.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Make a Deal. I'm Wayne Brady. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is our special Nerds Rule episode. See? Nerds Rule. To every kid back in elementary school that made fun of me because I read books and watched PBS, your mama. Nerds rule the world. Hey, Stan? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stan Lee. Excelsior. Give it up for Stan Lee. Yeah, it's Stan Lee. Mr. Lee. There's your mic, Stan. Welcome back to the Nerd Show. Every day this week, one deal in each show will involve an at-home trader. We have a group of contestants standing by, but the thing is, none of them know who will be picked until right now. Drum roll, please. Today's at-home trader is Dan Williams. What's up, Dan?
How are you?
Or should I say the great Nas?
Absolutely. It's the anti-Zonk. Hopefully my powers will win.
I love that. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dan Williams. I'm a professor here of web design and programming at a university.
Well, very nice to meet you, sir. Well, welcome to the Nerd episode. I see that you are a fellow comic nerd, so I'm pulling for you right now.
Comic books. I have over 5,000 of them.
Oh, I'm coming to rob you. It's I'm not.
Come over and read anytime you want.
No, I'll come take them. Now, we have curtain number 3 for you. Curtain 3 says 2016. 2016.
Okay.
And we have a small box which says 2000. Which one would you like?
I am going to go with the curtain.
The curtain. So let's see what's in the box. Tiffany, what's in the box that we just passed on?
It was an electronics gift card
from Best Buy.
You could have upgraded your electronics with this $2,000 gift card to Best Buy.
Do you know how many video games you could get with $2,000?
I do, in fact.
Man. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to offer you $500 right now to not take 2016.
I think I'm going to stick with the curtain.
How about $800?
I'm still going to go with the curtain.
Wouldn't it be great if technology really worked like this?
Wouldn't it be?
Tiffany.
It's a trip to the 2016 San Diego Comic-Con.
That's fantastic.
Oh. You'll enjoy 2 4-day passes to San Diego Comic-Con, one of the largest comics conventions in the world. You'll check out the latest in comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. Deluxe accommodations and luxury car service are included in this deal worth $3,800.
Did you see those pictures of us?
Oh, wow.
I am jacked. Congratulations, Dan. Good job, sir.
Thank you so much.
So I'll see you at Comic-Con. Right on. Excelsior. Now, if you're interested in being one of our at-home
Excelsior!
Excelsior.
Yep, I won a trip to Comic-Con. It was ridiculous because I was like, what?
Awesome.
A perfect prize. I thought I was really screwed when I lost the $2,000. And I was like, ugh. But yeah, it was fun. And somebody said you probably already had a ticket. No. I was actually, I went once with the show. So we all went kind of, we'll take pictures of that next time. And then this was actually the first time that I had been back. So it was kind of cool. And then it started me going back and now I go every year. So it's kind of more fun.
That's your Mecca, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's my people. I love it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so it was the second time I was on stand. So it makes it fun.
I love
Nice.
that one. Yeah.
The weird thing about it, like we were interviewing beforehand trying to get on the show. And so I'm talking to this guy and he's going back and forth and he's like, oh, you were on a show? And I was like, yeah, I was Parthenon on Who Wants to Be a Superhero. And then literally somebody comes in here like this to the side of it. She goes, is that Parthenon? And I was like, yes. And it was Roz. Do you guys remember Roz?
Oh, yeah.
She cast me on Who Wants to Be a Superhero, and then she cast me again on Let's Make a Deal. So I was like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Super fun. So it makes it more fun. I know. Anyway, so that is what's new with me. That's what I've been doing afterwards. Other than that, I still work at Walt Disney World. I'm doing computer graphics for them. I'm still a college professor, doing all that kind of stuff. T-shirt company, making Speedos, making everything like that. Anything I can go.
And you could totally produce these kind of live stream shows, Dan, because you are
Big
awesome.
business
And
now.
you put these together. And it's so professional and it's been so fun and you are so on it. You guys don't even know that all week long he's sending us prompts and asking for things. And I love it. I love it. And you are so talented. I just want you to know that because anybody could get on a Zoom, right? We could have just done it like a Zoom and it'd be clunky and people be dropping out. But thank you for this little gift, Dan. It's just wonderful. It's been fun. And I think I should have gone home and you should have stayed.
It's fine. It is what it is. It's the past. And so
I know, but you are wonderful. And I know how much of your heart was in that show and in that layer. And it was devastating to lose you there. I was so sad. I just couldn't get over it for that whole 24 hours.
I mean, I was sad because you don't really see so much in the show, but Dan and I were the buddies because
I know.
You know,
I know.
We had the comic book thing going, and
Yes.
that was nothing to do but talk. And so we talked comics in the mythology of comics. And
it's
I
crazy.
was devastated as well.
Because we would always talk about like our superheroes and like how we kind of built it and rest of it. Because mine is like based on one thing, missed another comic book superhero, and like another put on top of that, and like Infinite Gauntlet. But I was doing Mandarin Rings, and I was like, meh. And it was just nice.
We would also talk about a particular comic story and how your hero would approach that story, and then how Diffuser would have had to have handled it. I mean, it was just fun.
It was fun. It was like a superhero summer camp. If you can imagine, we got frozen in time. You didn't have to deal with no bills at that time, no nothing. And all you had to do was engage in your geek side, whatever that was. And it was it was pretty special to meet other people who were as invested in it and geeky and neat, because you see them at cons and you do that, but really you're stuck there, and so you get to know their geekdom like really quickly.
Yep. And it's fun because it's like people that I wouldn't have met normally. So then like we became really good friends and we still talk. So it's very nice. Like I've been at most people's houses, like stayed at Diffuser's place, saw his like whole thing. So it's like, it was just fun. Like we met
and I
people.
think
Really
that's also one of the many reasons why the show failed.
I do too.
We're all nice people. We were all nice people trying to be heroic in a genuine way.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't leave a lot of room for angst and drama and conflict. Because we wanted to get along.
Yeah.
We wanted to be friends. These are my
we were
people.
we were excited to be in a show with Stan Lee. You know what I mean? We could all walk home going, I was on a show that Stan Lee produced. It was his brainchild. He came up with this. And so beyond that, we were like, wow, like we just had this great gift given to us. And I think reality TV is, it's really it's kind of like this road of even more so now of negativity and who can outdo each other with bad things, and it was just not like that. You can watch it with your kids, you can get a laugh, it can be funny and cheesy and all of those things. So,
and I really think it has something to do with the prize as well, which is the interesting thing about it. So like do you guys ever watch any of the British shows, the BBC at all?
Yeah.
So they're specifically, if your show is on the BBC, you can't give away money and you can't give away prizes on these shows. So that's why, like the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. Like,
and it's just the title. They get the title of the British Baker. Yeah.
It's delightful, and everyone gets along because no one's fighting for the money.
Yes,
no one's fighting
those are
like, oh my God, I need this $100,000 for something. No, like what do we get? We get a comic book. That was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the title of Who Wants to Be a Superhero.
It was in that same theme. It was like that same. The reward is getting the experience.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of it's people. I don't know. They like to tune into the fighting and and it just wasn't our show. That wasn't our show.
I think somebody has a good idea though. If they want that, they should make Who Wants to Be a Supervillain.
And Dan and I talked about how to recreate this show.
We did. We have ideas. Maybe before they go, but you never know. I know. Other people say, by the way, thank you for being here consistently and being on all the shows. I appreciate that.
This has been great.
This is fun.
Yeah, and one more thing. So Diffuser is very good, and he actually eventually sent me pictures during the break.
Oh, good. Okay.
His two favorite drawings. Which is
pretty cool. The artist of this and the character that I'm saving is Bonsai Girl. She has her own anime comic, Jinky Coronado, and her husband is a very good friend of mine, and he's the one who actually. Oh, I can't say that because we haven't gotten to that point yet. I'll talk more about.
I can actually
later.
So David is great because we actually mentioned him once before when we were showing the comic book covers, because he actually did majority of all of the comic book covers, ran through his company. So he actually did all the different posters for us. Yeah, like the one behind you. So all of those artists actually work for a company called Glass House Productions. So.
Glass House Graphics and Productions. Yeah, David Campiti is a great guy.
I agree.
And, there's
Wait, can we tell the other thing about David that's really cool?
Yeah.
So he actually wrote a book for Stan Lee, and so he's like Stan Lee's ghostwriter, and like he actually does a really good Stan Lee impersonation as well. So it's kind of fun.
Oh, wow.
I know. And then this is there you go. How to draw comics.
How to draw comics, and of course autographed.
Yeah.
By Stanley.
He's super cute. Like, David is wonderful. I went to his house because he's actually here in Florida. And
Yes.
so he's delightful. Like, he's the best person. So he's great. And then
good
let's show
people.
you your other picture. Boop.
So this is Rebecca Hicks. She does a comic called Little Vampires. I encourage you to
I
look it
love
up.
them.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Rebecca
Yes.
is awesome. I met
She's
her.
awesome.
I was going to a convention, and I saw this poor woman and her husband trying to go up this huge flight of stairs with a shit ton of luggage. And you know how people bundle up when they've got it. She does a booth at a convention.
Yeah.
They got to carry all
Yeah.
the crap in, and the escalators weren't working.
Oh.
So her and her husband trying to drag these up there, and I just said, "Hey, do you want some help?" And I grabbed a couple of the big bags and I carried them upstairs. And we get to the top of the stairs, and her husband is just looking at me and going, "Are you? And she finally goes, "I just want to say thank you. You're the diffuser."
It's always fun and weird. I love it.
It is fun to get recognized. And so I'm a fan of hers. She does great comics.
I love her
and
stuff
artwork.
too. I have some of her
Very
stuff.
talented.
Yes.
Her husband, he always wears a shirt or button that says "I'm the head lackey" or something along those lines. You know, it's just great. Great. But those are two of my favorites.
That's cool. I like those. So it's always fun. See, I had to show the picture because when you're like, I had to help somebody with their stuff out the boxes, and I was like, dog. Just dog.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so next week is going to be the final two episodes 7 and 8, the grand finale. Dun, dun.
Yes.
So yes, I'll see if I can talk Hyperstrike into it, but he is, like I said it before, he is on like an internet social media outage kind of a thing because he's like hunkering down in Vermont. So I will see if I can talk him into it, but I'm not sure about it. But at least we have 2 of the final 3 holding down the fort, and we'll end this saga next Thursday. So I hope you guys.
I'm sure Basura will be back. She was on and Braid, and I guess everybody can. Like they have maybe even feedback.
I was hoping feedback was. So my plan of attack was actually ask him.
Yeah, you see him on the. Don't want to give any spoilers away if no one's seen it,
but feedback is great. So we'll have him on. We'll try our best to have him on. I'm going to try to invite all the other heroes back so we can kind of have a grand finale for next week. I know. And everybody's like, no, last episodes. And yes, I know. But everybody, I hope you have a very great night. And thank you for joining us.
Bye. Thank you. Excelsior. Bye.
Excelsior!
There's Ella. Bye-bye.